Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Okay, so we are live today. We are live today. I need to get my AirPods, but before I do that, I would obviously like to say thank you guys for always supporting my channel and sharing my videos, giving thumbs up, and for a lot of you guys who call me and comment, thank you all so very, 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 very much. um, Today has been a very productive day. Literally got back to running, um, and then getting some stuff ready before I can. Hello, everyone. Hello. Don't mind me. I had a lot of food to eat today. No. I today I went for a run. So since I got back from Africa, I haven't really done much. So I just decided to go for a run today. So I ran, and here I am. Hello, Liberian TV. Thank you for supporting the Zawadi channel. Um, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining this live. I feel great. I feel great because I finally had the courage to go for a run today. So I did like 4 miles of running, and typically I do 7. But today, it's I'm getting back to the groove of things. So obviously I didn't run as much. So anyway, that's besides the point. That's not why we're here. Thank you guys. I'm waiting for Stefan to join in. Give me a moment. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Okay, he's jumping on in 5 minutes. So y'all talk to me. Y'all talk to me today. It's Friday. People are supposed to be out, enjoying themselves, having a good time. But you guys are on this live today. So I just want to say thank you so very much for tuning in. Don't mind my pink coat, okay? You don't mind me, girl. I just ate today, so I just literally had some food that I cooked yesterday. So that's why I'm excited, because I just ate. Hello, how are you, my friend? Thank you for tuning in. Um, so today's live, let's get to it. Today's live show is about the investment opportunity that we talked about 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks ago. Um, Establishing an investment group in Liberia. I know I've received a lot of comments talking about, oh, Zawadi I don't think Liberians can do this. And so I just shook my head, of course. And I'm even more motivated now to carry on this investment group. And so you guys are going to be finding out where we are currently in the investment group process, the vetting process, which was done. We've actually done the vetting process for the past 2 weeks. Okay, so the first week was very intense. We had 9 people per day. So we started on the Monday, and then it went into Friday. And so it took some time away from my own work just to do this vetting process. And so we did 9 people the first day, 7 people, 8, 6, 5, 6. And this week we've only done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on Monday. And so we have a lot of people within this pool. However, to have a successful investment group, we have to assess for people who love Liberia. So a lot of the questions that I ask the investors or the people looking to come in is, what are you looking to do? What is your long-term goal? What is your short-term goal of wanting to be a part of this investment group? And people are mostly financially driven. The responses are mostly financially driven, which is not bad. I mean, you should invest for finances, right? But when I came up with this idea and talked to Stefan about it, it wasn't more so just money. The least of anybody concerned is to be in a group of 20 people to just be for it to just be about money. So the goal really is just to help with Liberia's development. And I think that when we work together collectively, things does get done relatively quickly and more in a more effective manner versus doing things individually. Of course, sometimes it's better to go as a group than to go as an individual. And so that's the reason why. So if your response is, are a little different from, hey, I want to make an impact in Liberia. I really have to think about it very carefully. It's not that you're not going to be selected, but like I said on this channel, my goal is to help talk to all of you guys to go back home to help develop Liberia, however it takes, however much time it takes for you guys to help in that process. And so if you are a part of the investment group, if I pick you, because I'm going to be sending out messages, one of the reasons why I will pick you is because your motivation for Liberia. What was that? Is that a ghost? Um, your ability to. Who is this? All right, so who are these people? Your willingness to help and foster Liberia's development, and that's part of the reason why I was selected. However, that's not the only factor. Other factors include, but really not limited to that. We're looking for people who can be long term, who can be committed long term, because it's not only that we're going to build these apartment units, we are looking to diversify and move on to other areas of the country to help bring about development. And so we will focus on tourism, which starts with real estate, excursions, building restaurants and bars. And so it's encouraging so far. A lot of other people from different countries actually made some inquiries, and we interview them. And so some of them may be watching right now. That's great. It really just has been fun and great vetting people, but the process is just not over, because the first 20 people we interview, it's not that we're going to pick you, or it's not that you're not great, but because we're looking for, you know, people way beyond, I'm going to put in 10,000 or I'm going to put in 20,000. Long-term commitment, long-term to the goals and objective we're trying to establish it to move our country forward. Okay, I'm sounding like a president. I'm not running for president, guys. Don't think about that. But anyway, I'm waiting for Stefan. Don't worry, don't buy me my golf full. Okay. Anyway, so we're still waiting for Stefan here. Um, Y'all talk to me. Hello, hello, my people. Y'all want me to speak a little quiet? I will speak a little quiet. Okay. We move, y'all. Anyway, you don't mind me. You don't mind me. You don't mind me. Today's a great day. Today, Friday is a great day, and so I'm glad to be here. Um, We're waiting for Stefan. We're waiting for Stefan. I don't have anything else to entertain you guys about. I think my brain is pretty fried. Visionary because a lot in Liberia is not of this present era. Okay, visionary because a lot in Liberia is not of this present era. Thanks. Thank you. Liberia is, as I talked to one, I spoke with one of my colleagues, and he pretty much said Liberia is an emerging market, and only people who have vision will see that the country has so much potential. And you don't have to be an entrepreneur to understand there are problems that need to be solved. And so you have to visit the place and then throw away your perception that it needs to be like the United States. And then you have to go deeper into some of the issues that needs to be solved. From there, you can really determine how best you can help, whether it's business, whether it's volunteerism, whether it's humanitarian work, or that wherever it may be, wherever your hands can reach, perhaps you can definitely go there. But anyway, I am still waiting for Stefan. I think Stefan. Yes, definitely. Visiting would be great. Expectation wise, I do have a video coming up in terms of what to expect when you're heading to Liberia, but a couple of things that I think people would need to expect, and some of those will be stated in my videos. But you need to keep an open mind when you go to Liberia. When I get to the airport, I just make jokes, smile, and just go by my merry way. It's something you can really just not. You can just tune it out. Something can be tuned out, and something you just really have to focus and see what you can do, and what's going on in the country. But for those who are not from Liberia, they see the opportunity, and that is the key. people who are not from Liberia see the opportunities that sit in our nose, right? And we don't do much. We become more critical of the country than those that are not even from there. And so it's a little puzzling and troubling to me sometimes, as I hear people say things. But anyway. Hello, Librarian TV. Librarian TV, Librarian TV, Mr. Sackler. Thank you so much for your live today. I think a lot of people have questions that you really answer. What I think, let us focus on our purchasing power, because as long you give a price, they will start to say, "Wow, absolutely." And I mean, that's one of that's a point that's a point to consider. Of course, another thing that needs to be talked about highly. If you look at our GDP, gross domestic product, what are we really producing? What's being manufactured? Sometimes I wish I could just do so much, huh? But anyway, we move, huh? Hello, sister. All right. Stefan, hurry up. Sorry. Let's see. Stefan's gonna get on soon. Instead of jumping in 5 minutes. Okay, this 5 minutes has already passed it. But anyway, he does have a lot to say. So you guys, I thank you for being so patient. And if you're new to my channel, thank you for tuning in and watching my videos. I really appreciate all of you. He is coming on now, and I'm gonna let him in. Okay. Hello.
Yo. Oh, let me adjust my lighting over here because it looks like
Welcome to the channel. I think other folks have been waiting for you.
Oh, really? My bad.
Yeah.
I legit lost.
Excuse me?
I said I legit couldn't find my webcam. Like, that thing makes me lately. Let me get myself.
Okay. Well, glad you're on now.
Yeah. Let me get my lighting a little bit more better. Can you see me okay?
Yeah. I think I can see, but I think you should do something about it.
Let me adjust my lighting a little bit.
Okay. If I follow you, you know that the house you show. You see, the thing is, for that house, people don't consider negotiation. Okay, when it comes to purchasing materials, there are levels to that. And even I was there 3 weeks ago, or actually 3 weeks ago. I was in Africa, and I needed to add on to my apartment complex because I have a real estate business. And so I went with my staff, and I sat in the car. Mind you, if I had gone into the store to ask for steroid 5.8 versus 1.4 steroid, they would give me a different price versus somebody who's actually there, who actually lives there. So what I did, I sat my little self in the car, and I told my staff to go and ask for the price. So my staff went to ask for the price. My staff came back, and I told him, please go and negotiate. This is how much I can pay, and that's it. And my staff went, and my staff came back with a way reduced price. Now, listen to me very carefully. I left the car, just a couple of minutes in between. I left the car and I went to the store, and I said, how much is this? And he said $15. But you just charged my staff $12. Okay. When you go to Liberia or Africa, people just know you're not from there. I mean, you can be from there, right? That's where you're from, but maybe you've traveled. And so they already automatically assume that you have money anyway. And so the pricing for you versus somebody who lives on the ground, they're not the same. So as a smart person, you make sure the people who are on the ground go buy it for you. Even though you can speak a raw Kodokwa, for me, I can speak raw Kodokwa, but there's a place and time for everything. But my point is, when you are purchasing the materials by yourself, you're going to spend more. But if you allow people, the company to purchase those materials, the prices will not be the same. The other example is cement. The price that they charge on the market is different from the price that they charge for a company, that they give a company. Okay. So yeah. So if a cement bag is $8.50 on the market, a company is going to be charged $7.90. So you do your math. If the company says you need 200 bags of cement and you buy it $8.50 versus $7.90, calculate the amount that you're going to save versus if you were to go and purchase it by yourself. The other thing is this construction stuff is not just money, okay? The goal is to have more Liberian people working. This is a Liberian company, okay? We have about 42 people on our payroll. Okay, 42 people on our payroll, and I want to continue to employ a more Liberian into the company. The goal is not to suck you dry of your money. The goal is to ensure that the workers can work. The goal is to ensure that you have quality product and at an affordable price. That's the reason why when you have your estimate, you go and review it. We come and negotiate to make sure we have a middle ground. That you're happy, my staff happy, the company is happy, everything goes well. That's exactly how it is. So when you guys see some homes, it's not that, oh my god, these people are so cheap, but that there are so many levels of negotiation that goes on. That's why you guys see those homes like that. Anyhow, we move. These libraries is one of the countries in the world with cheaper cement price. Yeah, tell them, will still people will still tell you that you are so expensive, and then they wonder why they have ugly houses. Ugly houses. You just wonder why you have ugly houses because you know what? You don't want to pay. You guys saw that $80,000 house, and y'all wonder, oh my god, that is so pretty. But that house is of quality materials. How many people are willing to pay? Many of you say, oh, that house is nice, but where am I gonna take 80,000 from? You don't have to put the whole 80,000 down. Okay, that's the thing. Everything is done in phases. Profiling work to foundation to slab casting to elevation, all of those things. Those are stages. But because we're so cheap, I bring people, y'all need to wake up. We build ugly houses and complain because somebody charged you some a cement bag that could even be more somewhere else. Somebody charged you $8.50. Now you want to complain, but you want to build a big mansion. Y'all want to build a big mansion, but y'all want to complain. It don't work like that. It don't work like that.
And that same house in America, you come in pay 250,000.
Exactly 300,000. Some of them will
Wood,
pay.
and you get in
Some
wood.
of them will pay.
You get in particle board.
And then they tell you, oh, the house is nice, but 80,000 is too much. Hey, that's why they build ugly houses. Anyway, we move on. Okay. Anyway, Stefan, what's up? How are you?
None much. Be over there in LIB in April. So I'm gonna have some amazing footage of everything we've been working on, the community, the proposed investment site, everything. I'm be getting some crazy footage. And of course, I'm be sharing that with you so you can share with all the viewers. So very excited about that. And yeah, can't wait to share it with you guys. But not much been going on. Just work, work, work. You know how this country go. Just working and working and plotting, and trying to get some more money to put in some things that we're working on.
Yes,
That's
for sure, for sure, for sure.
it.
I know we've been really busy with the vetting too. It's like
Yeah.
a full-time job. I was telling them,
Oh
the whole
yeah,
vetting process is like a full-time job.
exactly. Because like we always tell a lot of people that we're not trying to take the first people that line up with $10,000. That's a very small barrier to entry for such a great opportunity. To be involved in investment, not only like you not in the country, you live in the US, you live in the UK, have people from Australia, all over the world, and to be a part of an investment in Liberia without having to be on the ground is just an amazing opportunity. So Obviously, to be a lot of people interested in that, but uh, with an investment group of this size, proposing that we get together with 20 people, that's a lot of people. And our people don't have the best track record of working together, especially when it comes to uh, uh, money, sending money, transferring money, having doing development. Some people just automatically assume that you're trying to either come up off them, trying to get rich off them, even though it's really talk about $10,000, or trying to some way or somehow, rip them off. So it's something you got to approach with extreme caution and just make sure that everybody that we get in this group is long term minded, because it's not something that's you know you're gonna be making money like next year or a couple years. So definitely gotta be long term minded, and be flexible. That's one of the things we discussed also. And I heard you just talk about the price of a bag of cement. They say 850, but who knows what the price of a bag of cement is gonna be at the end of the year or even in a few months. Who knows what's gonna happen. So flexibility is key, and we just got to be cautious about who we decide to bring in the group. But had a lot of people inquiring. It was a great vetting process, and we're still continuing to do that. So we enjoyed speaking to everybody that got on with us. It's great to see that people are interested. So we can never say that people are not interested in investing back home, because people have been interested. So I'm just excited to get it started. I think there's been a little update on the land. It's not as big as we thought it was. It's still a good size for what we trying to do. We just thought we was getting initially about 6 lots, but I think they went out there and they actually corrected that and said it was about 4.5. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, 4.5. Yeah,
Four and a
four
half
and a half
lots.
acres. Yeah,
It's still a great size. That's still an acre of land.
yeah.
And when people usually ask me like, okay, how big an acre is, I always compare it to, like, if you say a 4.5 lot, that's the size of like a football field.
Hmm.
So that's a great size space for a resort type establishment what we're trying to put together. But yeah, it's been great for everybody who's been inquiring about that, speaking to you guys, seeing some of your goals, your interests, backgrounds. I mean, it's been great. That in itself has been, making the whole process worth it.
For sure, for sure. I know the first day we started, we had like 9 people or so, and I was like so exhausted. But it shows it shows us that a lot more people are more serious about Liberia these days than previously. And then also what has been fascinating is to see people from different places make some inquiries. People who just don't have any ties to Liberia express an interest. It gets to allow us to know that Liberia is moving in a direction where more and more people are seeking opportunities to explore. And so the vetting process has been great. And so if you guys are new, wondering like what we're talking about, Stefan, what would you say? Like what is this investment group? How would you really define it?
Yeah, so we had a live. I think it was about maybe a couple weeks ago that Emma brought up the idea that we should, collectively, with 20 people, come together and somehow put some money together that would go toward a single development. Um, so we decided that why not, instead of putting our money together to, let's say, fix each other houses up, like something like a susu. Like, okay, for a few months we're gonna fix this person's house, a few months we're gonna fix the other person's house. Why don't we just all put our money together instead of fixing anybody's house? Let's just put it together towards something that's business related. And what better business idea than a short-term hotel like stay? And I can attest to that, because right now I'm looking for a place to stay in Liberia, and places are not easy to come across. They're not cheap. And even when I was in Liberia last year, when I looked up Airbnb, there was like 4 places, or like 3 or 4 places. I was like, first I was surprised that there was Airbnb in Liberia, because I didn't expect it to be. But then I was also shocked that people had access to Airbnb, but people just weren't taking advantage of it. Like I said, it was like 3 places. I think I was all the way out there in Hotel Africa, and to get from there to Monrovia was like over an hour drive, and then you gotta time it correctly because one time we got stuck in the traffic, and you know, I mean, it wasn't horrible compared to America, like you said, like it wasn't horrible, but it definitely is worth planning around. Like, just make sure you're not in that area around these times, almost like we do in Atlanta. Certain times you don't want to be near downtown 75 because that's the rush hour time. So it was similar, but yeah, there's a lot of opportunities as far as just short-term rentals in Liberia, and we decided that we should take advantage of that. And if we went a step further and added like other things on, other amenities, add some excursions on there, that's just not a lot of things that people are doing in Liberia. So why not be an example? Not only to, you know, make this upscale style establishment, but also come together with 18 other like-minded investors to pull this project off. So we'll be essentially killing multiple birds with that one stone. And I think in doing that, that we could show others that it's possible. And I think that's the future. We're gonna start seeing that a lot. Whether we were gonna do this project or not, I feel like it was coming. We just want it to be us. We don't want it. We're tired of seeing Lebanese and Indians pull it off, or maybe now I think Nigerians have a big interest in Liberia. So people are starting to realize the opportunity. So whether we do it or not, like it's coming. It might as well be us. We might as well, set the tone and let others know it's possible. So those are some things we discussed, and we decided to get on live and, you know, um, see if we could find other like-minded investors who want to be a part of it. And we had a lot of people hit us up, a lot of emails, and we want to schedule a lot of appointments, been vetting people, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a great opportunity. I don't really see like I'm an investor in America, and I know risky investment when I see one, and I never put this investment in the risky category because I don't see how it can not work, especially if and when we get to the end where we have a fully developed complex with excursions, and once we add the marketing behind it, like the YouTube and things like that. I mean, I wish that place was ready right now so I can go stay over there, really, because I wouldn't have to go through what I'm going through right now, trying to look for a place that's upscale where we can be comfortable with running water and some place that could accommodate 2 or 3 people instead of just having one bed and one bathroom. I really wish I could find somewhere like that right now. So it just shows that there's demand, and that's what the country really needs, that forward thinking, that movement. So we discussed it. We put some quick action behind it. Came on here, just talked about some ideas, and people jumped on, and you know, uh, I'm kind of surprised by some of the feedback, the amount of feedback we got from that proposal.
Yeah, for sure. What do you say to those who just said Liberians can do this? Because I received a comment and I also received an email and it said it's not possible for Liberians to collaborate to build such a project. What do you say?
I mean, I guess I would want to see where their heads at. Like, why is it not possible? For which reason? Um, I mean, it doesn't seem like the impossible mission to me. I mean,
Right.
you're already proving a lot of those things, like by even what you're doing. So I think you kind of broke the ice a little bit by showing us even that $80,000 house that you showed. I mean, that house is amazing. Like, I would go live over there. Um, Amazing view, amazing design, modern. I mean, just the views, the windows, how it's all set up. I mean, it's incredible. So I would want to see along the lines why they say it's impossible. Is it that we can't come together? I mean, it's not impossible. It is a little harder because people's not known for trusting each other. So I think that would be the biggest barrier. But impossible is a strong word. I don't know if there's anything impossible. And remember, there was a time where white folks taught that certain things that black people couldn't do just because they weren't capable, like, oh, don't try to teach them how to read, they can never learn how to read, like, uh, different things that require brain power. They can't do it. So obviously those things are like it's foolish to have those thoughts. So to say that's impossible, it's like, I guess you about to sit back and watch us do the impossible.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, collaboration is very important. I think nowadays a lot of Liberians or people in the diaspora are really open to these investment conversations and also the investment opportunities that are there. For example, when we were building the poetry, a Nigerian guy came there. He's very much saying, "Oh, like this is not Liberian owned poetry. I'll guarantee you it's not." And he's arguing with our manager, and the manager said this place is owned by a very young Liberian girl. He said, "No, no, a Liberian girl can never own something like this." And so when I went back, I went to say hello to him, and he was like, "Do you own this farm?" And I was thinking, yeah, what is your issue and why do you say that? And I think because we don't really see collaboration amongst ourselves, that's why a lot of people have that doubt. Um,
And one thing I noticed too, I noticed that we didn't really get a lot of people that were on the ground that were actually inquiring, like people that moved from the diaspora, that relocated to Liberia, that recognized a business opportunity and decided to take part of that. So that lets me know that um, either a lot of people aren't uh, um, going back home in with the capacity to keep investing. They're doing so maybe in the form of a retirement, like they go back home only when they're retired and they only have a set amount to live off, so they can't afford to invest. So that was another interesting thing I noticed, which I think as time goes on we'll be seeing more and more, because now people are trying to go back home at younger ages and still like going back home to look for opportunities. But right now, it's more people just going back home to retire, just having enough money to build their single house and just living off that retirement, not really looking to, invest it too much so that was one thing I'm like, I'm really surprised. I thought more people in Liberia would have been inquiring, but we've had some foreigners too, people that aren't even Liberians who, recognizing that opportunity in Liberia. So that was a little surprising too. I know there's foreigners in Liberia, but we mostly see like Indians and Lebanese. But we've had African Americans, people from Europe, you know, looking at Liberia. So that lets you know that there's others who's going to be, watching Liberia very closely. And rightfully so. If you've been over there, you can quickly see that a lot of these places, like this proposed development area, like that's $1 million view.
two
Beautiful.
minutes.
You're in nature. Anywhere else, if that plot of land was, let's say, in another country, you would have investors flocking. But because it's in Liberia, us Liberians, we're not looking at it like that. But when foreign investors come and see that, yeah, they're all over it, and they will be in the future as time goes on. Guarantee it.
Yeah. Hi, O'Shea. How are you? Hello, peace family. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. So this property is about 2 minutes walk to the ocean. So of course, as Stefan said, it's the $1 million view right there.
And I
Prime
ain't gonna be walking,
estate.
I'm gonna be running. Start to take a run.
If you run, it probably take you 30 seconds. If you walk,
I
it's two
know.
minutes.
We're gonna see that nice ocean and be walking all slow 2 minutes now. I'm gonna see it. I'm out. I'm over there.
Yeah. What is the? You want to talk about the entry to get into this group? What are some things? Some people are very curious. Like, do I need to have the $10,000 before I can sign up? What can you say to that?
Yeah. So the $10,000 investment is going to be spread out in a span of 12 months. Now, this building, I don't know if you have a picture anywhere that we could
I
put
wish
out.
I could. Okay, hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, yeah. So while you work on that, this proposed building, um, is we're starting off with the first unit. We're looking to budget $200,000 to build this first unit, and this is not going to be the end of this roadmap. This 1.5 acre can fit a lot of these units, but also want to fit a pool in there, restaurant, couple bars. We want to have guests come and stay and not have a reason to leave. Meaning, when the place is fully developed, they can do everything. They can spend a week, a weekend, however long they're staying, they could spend all that time on the resort without needing much reasons to leave. Okay, we just lost Emma. So the $200,000 investment is going to be in the span of 12 months. Now, realistically, when I ask Emma, how fast can we really get this building up? We can really get it up in 6 months, but we don't want to make the barrier to entry so tight that people have to either, put up more money up front or, have to do $2,000 a month or anything like that. So we decided to do it, try to see if we can do it in a year. So the $10,000 investment is going to be spread out in a year. And after obviously the cost of purchasing the land, which we're about to pull the trigger on that land, we need to clear the land. And for those of you guys who are not familiar with the community, this land is actually in the back of our community. So it's going to get a lot of advantages from the community because as a community, we're already clearing that land, which is already done right now. We're just finishing it up. And also in the future, we're going to be paving the road. We're going to be putting street lights up. So, and guard posts and all those things. Like it's going to be a secure community. So this resort is going to have a lot of benefit firsthand from that community. But we have to purchase the land. We got to clear the land. This business entity we're putting together is going to be legally structured with binding contracts, which are going to have attorney fees. So those costs are going to be there before we actually get to the first unit. So that's why we estimate, $10,000, probably like $1,000 a month. That's to purchase the land, get all those fees that I just mentioned out the way, and also budget for that unit. Now the unit, which Emma's working on showing you guys, is going to be we're looking at doing a 6-unit, maybe like a 3-story, 3 units on the left, 3 units on the right, open rooftop, balcony. And when I say unit, I'm not just talking about a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. I'm talking about 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, living room, kitchen, like the full setup, right? We're going to switch it like an apartment style, short-term rental. And it's definitely going to be on the modern to luxury side. We're looking to set the standard or the bar high with this project because we have plans of, keep going with this and doing this in other areas and finding people that we can work with to maybe get into other development with, because to keep it honest with you guys, it's not the development part that's the challenging part. It's finding like-minded people to work with that won't cause too much confusion, won't have too much headache, won't constantly feel like you're having to defend yourself and what you're doing. Who wants to work with people like that long term? Is this, if there was another, if there's a lot of other ways to make money besides being involved in this project. And honestly, if Emma wasn't involved in this, I would probably that this would be an easy pass for me. I don't like working with 20 other people. That's just not my style. I like to operate in a very small group. So this is something that, not it's a great opportunity, but the hardest part is working with a group this size. And then when you add in mostly Liberians into the mix, it just makes it more challenging. But um, when we could finish with this, I mean, it's going to be something that, definitely is not anything like it in that area. And probably the country probably hasn't even seen anything like this before. Like people come together, Liberians this size, investing in a project together. And then when you add in the fact it's going to be modern, it's going to be very strategic. I mean, like I said, we're looking to set the standard very high with this, not looking to cut any corners at all. So that's another reason for the $200,000 budget. I'm sure we can get something up cheaper, but like Emma was just discussing, we're not looking for any cheap developments. We're not looking to cut corners. We're not looking to use cheap materials. We're looking to have this as an example of, a modern building type structure. We see same year too. I like few people with huge visions and dreams to achieve. Absolutely. Definitely need that. Straight game changer. Man, this is gonna be a game changer for real. And if Emma didn't propose this idea, I mean, this is something that, I was gonna try to pull off on my own anyways. It would have just took me more time. Obviously, we can do this a lot faster if we all get together. But regardless, I was gonna do this by myself anyways. Like when I wake up over here in America, I wake up like that's my goal. Like I have tunnel vision. Like I'm gonna pull it off. Like Emma knows. Like I got a bunch of land. The land part is out the way. That was phase one. I acquired the land, and you know, I'm sitting on a nice 4 acres. So
Oceanfront.
oceanfront, 4 acres. So I mean, that was phase one. Now phase two is just getting about $500,000. So that's the harder phase. But at least I got the easy phase out the way. But if we can come together, I mean, we could definitely do this a lot faster. So that's why I am feeling this idea. But like I mentioned, 20 people. It's gonna be challenging. We got to be on the same page. And one thing that we're making clear to people that we were vetting and just speaking to is that I use the term silent investor, right? I use that term because we decided not to let people know that the people who's involved in this project, we're not building a resort for you to go back home and run the resort, right? Like, how would that work out with 20 people? A lot of us in the group are going to be from Liberia. When your family and friends find out that you are involved in a project in Liberia, like a resort, everybody gonna have their family, their friends, their kids lined up for you to hire them, for you to get them jobs. They're gonna be telling you all the sad story. We ain't got no rides. The rides finished. That one, that one, that one. So now everybody want to hire their friends. Everybody want to hire their family. How's that gonna work with 20 people? Let's say it does happen. Let's say you hire your cousins and your grandma and all that. Now, let's say your grandma's not doing the job. She can't perform. She could barely walk, but you just want to hire her so she got some work. Now, should we put the investment first and be like, okay, this person is not able to do this job. Let's get somebody that can. Now, how are you gonna feel if we fire your grandma because she can't do the work? Or maybe we let her stay anyways and just pay her free money and just whatever happens. But then in doing that, we're not considering the rest of the investors. So when we say silent investors, we don't want anybody to think that they're going to be going back and running the resort or running the business, because a couple of people have, pretty much said that, like, they're interested in this project because they're looking for something for themselves or their family to do. And this is not that kind of establishment. Maybe, down the line, you get your profits, you're making money, at the end of this roadmap, when we finish everything, you're getting your portion. Maybe you use that towards a family business that you can hire your family members. But I don't think this is the time to be bringing in family and friends, because there's just so many of us. Like, how can we hire everybody? And don't think that they're not going to ask, because they will. So it's just some of these things that we have to make clear that makes it more challenging, because a lot of people are don't have businesses. They're not business minded. They've never ran a business. So when you mix these things together, that's where the confusion comes up. So we're all in this to make money and profit. So that's why I suggested to Emma, when that first unit is finished, we have a manager in place. We might need 2 workers, right? 2 people can do everything to that building. It's not that hard to clean a building. And I'm just saying 2 people, might even need 1 person. But as we start to further the development, then we can add more people on the payroll. But there has to be some kind of management structure. And Emma's already said she's not going to be running it. I'm not trying to run it. We're all 5% shareholders. We're not trying to sit over there and do bookkeeping and do all these other things. We're already doing a lot of free work and trying to put this thing together. But the whole point is to have a management structure in place and let the management team do that. Once in a while, if things aren't going right, if somebody brings something to our attention, or we notice something, or some of the numbers don't look right, we could shake up the management a little bit and replace the head. But we don't feel that everybody should be just trying to put different people in places, and we don't feel that everybody should be trying to come down over there and run this place like their own personal business. That's just gonna kill it for all the other investors, and it's not fair to the people who are putting their money in, trying to make a profit, for 1 or 2 or 3 people to just be over there trying to call shots and trying to override each other. So all these things are very possible. These are things that happen in business all the time. So it's just important that we have this structure from the beginning. So if I was on the other end of this, I don't. I want to put my money in, right? I want to make sure the money is being managed the right way, which every single dollar to spend is going to be accounted for. We're going to make that very public to the investors. We're going to meet regularly on like a Zoom meeting like this and talk about those things. But as far as everybody trying to be in Liberia and running the business, it's just not going to work out with a group this size. So if I was on the other end of the spectrum, I would want to put my money in and, tell me what you guys doing with the money, how's it going, and let me fall back. I don't want to be in the mix and doing these things. I have other things going on, but obviously everybody is not on that same page. People like they're looking at this like, okay, when I retire, I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna be, working on this resort. Those are things that could just create problems. So I feel like it's important to just have a management and structure. And another thing that we discussed on the last live, in which we tell people we're betting with, the certain rules have to be in place. More particularly, like how are we going to stay? Like people want to come and they want to stay in the establishment. Well, when we finish that one building, there's only going to be 60 units. There's 20 partners. So what if half of those people want to come and stay? If we don't have anything in place in writing as an agreement, who's to say that this person can't, this person cannot? No. So what we decided was if people want to come and stay, there's a 30% discount. We're going to put a certain limit on how long they can stay because we don't want people just coming and living over there because all it takes is 3 or 4 people just to come live on those units. Now nobody's making no money. And that's not what we signed up for. So if you don't have these understandings in place, then you're leaving an opening for people to take advantage of it. And for people who want to be hands-on on a business, they want to be involved, then like we said from the very beginning, this is not for everybody. If you think $10,000 will not only build you a building that you can come and stay in, I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? Who wouldn't want to put 10,000 in and have access to a building that they can go live in for as long as they want to? I mean, it's a no-brainer because how much would it even take you to build a house? We've seen somebody spend $80,000 to build their house. So if you could put in $10,000 and have a unit, a 2-bedroom that you and your family and friends can come stay in for no limitation, then yeah, it's going to cause a lot of confusion with 20 people involved. So we're not trying to sign ourselves up for a headache. We're not trying to set ourselves up for failure. So it's important that when we speak to people, we let them know these things and let them agree on it because if they get in the group, they're going to be signing the contract. So those things have to be made clear from the very beginning. So that's just some of the things we talk to people about and let them know. And all those things that I just said apply to me and Emma. If this first unit is finished and I want to go stay over there for a few days, not only do I have to book a reservation, but I will be paying the fee minus my 30% discount that only applies to room, right? It doesn't apply to going over there and drinking the liquor at the bar, open bar, you know, because at the end of the day, it's going to be affecting the profit of the partners, which is our number one agenda, is to come together to pull this thing off, but also protect our profits and just protect our partnership moving forward.
Yeah, other aspects to consider though is that if you are looking to invest with us, you have to understand that the profit within the first 2, 3, 4 years are going to be reinvested back in the business to expand. And so, if you're looking to gain profit right away, this would not be for you because, as you guys know, it takes 3 to 5 years before you can even start to see anything lucrative. And so, if you're looking for immediate profit, no, we're not gonna be accepting.
Right, yeah. And I have some rough numbers around that right there, which is another great point. Somebody was asking me, AJR, do I plan to move back to Liberia and live permanently? My plan is if Liberia was giving me a certain amount of money, I wouldn't mind. But my style, to keep it honest, is to have the ability to do whatever I want, not to be like, okay, you stuck here, you stuck here. I want to have freedom. That's my goal. If I want to go at, if I want to live in my house in Marshall for 3 months, then I can do that. If I want to go live in my house in Brewville for another 2 months, I could do that. If I want to come back to the United States to handle business for a couple months, I could do that. I don't want to be like, okay, I have to be in this one area stuck here. I want to go with the motion wherever I feel like, and I'm interested in a lot of different areas. I love traveling. There's a lot of places that are on my bucket list to go to that I haven't been to. So just coming and staying in Liberia alone won't achieve those things. But I want to be set up in Liberia to have that option. Right now, my money is coming from America. All my investments, my cash flow is coming from America. So what I'm trying to do is diversify into Africa, more specifically into my country in Liberia, have some cash flowing out of there, and then that will give me more freedom. But I do have plans on building my house. I have land in Marshall, and in Brewerville, a lot of land. So I will have my house there in that community. Um, I will have my house there in Marshall. Um, where Emma got a couple of other communities she's proposing. I'm probably have houses over there also. So my goal is just freedom to be able to move around and pretty much make income passively without me having to go and trade my time necessarily to make money. So that's my goal. But yes, I'm going to be having multiple houses in Liberia. Will I stay there the whole year, every single year for the rest of my life? I highly doubt it. But I do plan on spending, raining season out the question. I don't want to be there no raining season. I don't like. I get bored in the house too much. If I gotta stay in the house for 3 months, it's over. I don't want to be in the house for 3 months. So when rainy season comes, I'll probably be out. And now same thing in America. I don't like winter. I don't like being cold. So when winter time come in America, I'll probably be out and go somewhere a little more tropical. But going back to some of the numbers and the reinvestment that you mentioned, now, when we first proposed it, I was saying, okay, so a lot of times when investors invest the money in a year or so, they like to, pull a little bit of profit out, take a little skin out the game. So I wanted to leave that option open and say, okay, let's at least try to invest at least 30% revenue back into the business to keep developing. But when I ran some rough numbers, even if that first unit, the sixth unit, was being occupied 20 days out of 30 days for the whole year, if we took 30% out of that, it would take us still a whole nother year. No, if we didn't take any money out of
Yes.
that, it would take us a whole nother year to finish. Now that's being booked 20 days out of 30 days a month for the whole year. If we take all that profit, it would still take us one whole year. Now let's say the place was booked 20 days out of 30 days and we took 30% profit out. Now, obviously, not then it would stretch it out a little more. It would take us about 3 years to finish. But 20 out of 30 days is a very high expectation because Brewerville is still an area that's opening up. The roads are not finished yet, right? Street lights. We have a lot of challenges in front of us. So to expect the place to be booked 20 out of 30 days, I think is highly unlikely. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure sometimes out the year when people are traveling there more, yes, it'll do great. But it's going to take some time, some promotion, some marketing. It's going to take some work on the roads, street lights, more people moving in the area. So if we take 30% out, it's possible it could take us years even to finish another unit. And then if we keep on that same trend, it could take us years to finish another unit. So now we don't turn the project into like a 10 to 15-year project. So it makes more sense and it's going to make more profit if we do just leave the money in and try to finish this place as fast as possible. Now, the faster we can finish about 3 of these units, um, then the faster we can start compounding our results. Meaning, if we have 3 units and we're taking the profit from those units, we'll be able to finish another unit in less than a year, in 6 months. Then those 4 units can finish another unit now as fast as the people can build it up. Now, at that time, now we have an end in sight because let's keep in mind that not only do we want to build units for rent, we also want to have different things like excursions. All right. We need transportation vehicles, picking people up from the airport, taking them to the airport. We need different activities for people to do if they're going to be staying long term at the resort. Not to mention, we need restaurant, which will need, logistics of food and, contract with people who have farms and have food and have all these other things. So it's a roadmap ahead of us. So if we're already thinking about profits and getting money out when the first unit is finished, then this is going to be a very, very long project. And it's actually going to do the opposite of what we intended. We're trying to show this as an example, like what we can do. But in taking our profits out, they're going to be looking like, man, these people still working on this thing? Oh, it's been 7 years. Damn, they still working on this? So that's not a very good example. So yes, we should keep our profits in. With me, when I start a new business, I'm not thinking about profits for at least 5 years. I have businesses that I'm running now that I rarely take profits from because I want to reinvest it. I want that to compound, and eventually, I want it to create cash flow that can sustain my lifestyle. Now, if I keep taking those profits out and living off the profits, then what I do is I turn myself into my own employee. I'm just a worker. So I have that same concept or that same mindset when I'm approaching other businesses. So with this project, I was never interested in taking money out. I was just always considering the other partners, how they would feel. Because if I come in and say, no, let's leave all our money and let's do this, other people might not be on the same page. So I was a little reluctant to just suggest that. But in reality, that's what we should be doing to try to finish this thing faster, is to leave our money in it and just put everything back towards it. And the faster we can do that, or the more we do that, the faster we can finish the development and the faster we can actually start making profits. So yeah, that's a great point you mentioned. And that's something that, we mentioned to the investors also. And for those who are interested in, pulling a little money out here and there, like we always say, this is not for everybody. Um, and people usually do those things on risky investments. If the investment is so risky, you want to take a little bit of money out, because if it goes completely south to zero, well, at least you got some money out. Now, this is not that kind of investment. Once we finish that first unit, that building is not going anywhere. It's here to stay forever. So it's not like, oh, something gonna happen in this business. Let me get a little money out. I mean, this is not that kind of risky investment. So we should really try to stay on track and just try to finish it as fast as we can. Because to keep it honest, like, even though we're working on this project, I'm gonna be working on my own projects on the side. This is not like the only thing I'm working on. So uh, I want us to keep moving, because I don't want people to see me working on my own projects and be like, oh, this dude working over here, but he working harder over here. No, it's because we're involved with everybody else. And my own project is just me. I can move at my own pace. I can put more money into. I can go get loans and be more aggressive. But when I'm working with 19 other people, I have to consider how other people feel. And we all have to get together collectively. But in my opinion, we should be leaving the profit in, and we should be compounding that money. And we shouldn't be the investment group that takes 10 years to finish a project on an acre. It's a little ridiculous.
Um, okay, yeah, thanks for that. So, another factor to consider if you're looking to invest in this group is exit. So people often wonder, like, what's the exit strategy? And I've received a lot of emails. Do How do I exit if I'm no longer interested, or perhaps do I get my 5% back when I decide to leave? There is an exit clause. So if, for example, year 2, 3, you decide to exit, you're obviously going to get your 5% at the appraised value for the business. And you are also liable for things that you do on the property. And if it does not fall within our requirements, you can also get that exit from the company, because it's one thing to be a headache to other investors, just for $10,000 or 11,000, whatever the value may be, to be such a headache to others. And so while you do as an investor have an exit and willingness to exit, you can also be exited from the investment group should you not follow some of the guidelines of the investment, which will be highlighted in the investment clauses that will be provided to you. But of course, Stefan, you can expand further on that.
Yeah, so I think those things are just like more guidelines. Obviously, even that exit clause has to be refined a little bit, because if in year 3, 4 people are like, okay, we all want to exit, um, there definitely has to be some kind of restriction. Like, we talked about a grace period. If an investor comes and gives a written notice and says they're interested in exiting the investment group, that person is still entitled to their 5%. We never, ever, ever want to take anything away from anybody. So um, we talked about it, that it's necessary that if people do want to exit, that they still get their 5% on whatever their appraised value is, with a certain grace period. But it'll be the role of the other investors to either take that money out the revenue and buy that shareholder out, and in doing so, that we share the that 5%. We split it amongst ourselves. And that's just important, because we're vetting people to try to see and carefully handpick who's coming into the group. So we don't want somebody to be able to sell their shares to an outside party member, because that would defeat the whole purpose of vetting. If we have to take all this time, vet people, hand select people, and then a few months later, somebody say, okay, I want to sell my shares to this person, that would completely defeat the process. So yeah, it's important to make sure there's clauses in there where people, don't feel like they're trapped in there. And also, like you mentioned, the termination clause. It's important that we, as 20 investors, are not stuck with one or two people who is trying to threaten our profits and trying to threaten, the longevity of this company. And there's a lot of things that can go south working with a people of this size. So, I can't get specific, just use your imagination how crazy people can get. So, I feel like it's important to not trap everybody else in. And then somewhere down the line, somebody has different motives, or maybe they're not showing their true colors up front and they want to, cause some commotion, either on purpose, inadvertently, whatever it is. But I also feel like it's important to give somebody a written notice or verbal notice or both. Let them know, hey, what you're doing, this thing is threatening our business. You agreed to these clauses. Now you're violating them. Please don't do this again. This is a written notice. And if somebody continues to do something that's not in the benefit of the company or our profits or anything like that, then yeah, why do we have to be stuck with this person because they invested $10,000 years ago? But at the same time, we shouldn't, take anybody's money. They're still entitled to that 5%, but we should be paying them out of either the net revenue or coming together as investors. And there should be a certain grace period on that. So when somebody gets a termination clause or they get that warning and they're violating, they continue to do these actions, they continue to override that, then it's important to have a termination clause. But that person should still be entitled to their 5%. And this is probably the only investment where you can completely mess up, like, screw other people over, and then you get more money for doing that, which is it's kind of crazy. But I feel like that's only fair. We shouldn't take anybody's 5% investment away because people can just say, "Oh well, you just kick this person out because you wanted their share." Something crazy like that. So that person is going to get paid, but we have to reserve the right to be able to terminate, these partnerships. And these are things that, we have to agree on how we want to go about doing it. But if we buy that shareholder out, then again, we as an investment group are going to split that 5% amongst ourselves. So it's not like somebody's getting kicked out and then just, like Emma's profiting off it or anything like crazy like that people might think. But with 20 people involved, yes, we don't want to be stuck with somebody that down the line they're doing all these things that they agreed that they wouldn't do, and they continue to do it, and now we have no option to just sit back, let them do whatever. That's not really something that I want to be involved in. Um, so if I'm going to work with a group this size, then yeah, there has to be certain restrictions. So this is like the perfect environment for an actual investor. This might not be perfect for somebody who's seen this as an opportunity to run their first business. So there's a huge difference. So that's why we're just making it clear to people, make sure everybody has that understanding from the very beginning. And if we can find those people to get on with us, then cool. I'm sure they're out there. We're gonna find them. Sometimes we might have to go through some people who are saying, "Yo, this not for us." That's fine. You know, I never want to have a proposal that's for everybody because obviously it won't be a good proposal if it's for everybody. So it's only gonna be for a certain amount of people, certain people with certain mindset, and we all have to agree to the clauses of this group in order to move forward. Because you guys watch Emma's channel, she got a lot going on. This is not the fastest way to profit for neither of us.
Nope.
This is something that we're more doing on the benefit of the country trying to come together and do this, but it's not something that we're seeing as, oh, we're gonna get rich off this, or maybe down the line we can make some great money, but this investment alone I don't think will actually make us rich. We have to take this and move forward with it and take a couple of steps forward, and then maybe that'll create wealth at some point. But we're more doing this to come together with like-minded investors, more develop the area because we got our eyes set on that Brewerville area, and we plan on doing a lot of investments, not just investments, doing stuff for the community, and just making sure the area as a whole benefits off everything we're doing over there. So that's
Um,
is that.
yeah, so somebody asked a question. So if one member is unable to continue the investment. So what happens after that? Well, you will obviously get your 5% out of the company of your the appraised value for the investment group within the company, and then the 5% that you've left will be distributed amongst the other members. So let's say we have 19 members. That 5% will go back to the rest of the other members, and that's a specific person.
I think they're meaning if they can't make their, like, let's say $1,000 payment every month, and they can't
Oh,
make
okay.
that.
I see what you mean. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
yeah.
this is something that we
If
talked
they can't
about.
make it, yeah. So that's something we even gotta agree on. Obviously, if obviously that's why we're asking people up front, to tell us about themselves, what they do for work. We don't want to come out and say how much money you make, but really, how much money do you make? So you got to be able to afford that. We're letting you know up front how much we're looking at budgeting. That's the whole reason we're stretching it out for 12 months, to make sure that people can actually afford this investment. So if it's something that might put your day-to-day life in jeopardy, then this is not for you right now. There will be other investment opportunities in the future. So it's not something that you have to rush and jump into. It's not like a one-time thing. I mean, we're just starting off. There's so much work to be done that we can't even finish it all in one lifetime. So there's going to be a lot of other things. Emma has some other investments going on right now with a small group of people. She'll probably talk about that in another video. But I plan on doing the same. I have a lot of my African American friends that ask me, they want to be involved in investments. I just want to be a little more established on the ground first before I bring them in. But I'm pretty sure as the years come, we're going to be pulling a lot of investors into these projects. And I'm also invested in Sierra Leone too.
Yeah.
I have my friend over there, and I plan on moving forward with that as well. So we have so many things between the two of us that we're going to be working on. This is not like the first and last get in or you're out kind of thing. There's going to be other stuff down the line. So please, if there's something that anybody cannot afford, then you don't have to jump in right now. But what you should do is save your money. Don't get that new car. Don't trade your car in for the newer model. Don't get that big house. Don't do any of those crazy things you guys be out here doing. Save that money instead and wait for the next investment opportunity to come up, and then take advantage of that. Anticipate that next one, because there's always going to be a next one. Like, this not like a one shot done deal kind of thing. So yeah, for whoever can invest, whoever can afford $1,000 a month
Right.
for 12 months, then this is just not for you at this time. Not saying you shouldn't be involved in some investment later on down the line, but you shouldn't overextend yourself, especially if that puts your life in jeopardy, or you have people depending on you, your family. That's just not a great investment for you, honestly.
Yeah, and then don't try to minimize your need to invest with emotion, and that okay, this is such a good idea, and so you start running without really evaluating other aspects of your life that could be jeopardized if you can't meet with this investment. There are other investment opportunities that I have proposed, but we are currently a very tiny group of people. Until I can have all my numbers together, this is something I'm going to share, of course, on my live too. But again, there are so many opportunities in Liberia for you to guys to hop on, and you can't necessarily try to get into this investment if financially you're not in the right position to do so, because this project will continue whether one, two, three people drop out. So if you are really looking to invest in this project, you have to understand that it's a whole year of investment. And if you can't meet your obligation, you might be in jeopardy. And so that's something else to consider. And of course, things does happen. People get sick, people lose their jobs, their businesses tend to like decline. And so these factors are things to understand. So if obviously right now you're not in the right position, it's okay. I have other opportunities coming up for you, and just don't put yourself in that. Okay.
Right. But I think in the event, if somebody did, somehow get screened and they got through that and got in the investment group, and then a few months down the line they couldn't afford it. I mean, we always have to keep the 5% even. So even though I would like a bigger portion and say, okay, let me pay that person on, and let me get 10%. We just can't do that. So we would have to work it amongst ourselves, which is another thing we discuss with investors is flexibility.
Right.
Flexibility for examples like these, but also flexibility for if a bag of cement was $8 in March and in July it's $9. We don't need anybody saying nah 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 nah. Y'all told me this is the price and this is that and this is that, so that's all I'm gonna pay. No, Emma doesn't make the cement. I don't have
Right.
a cement
I
machine.
don't.
You're
I
buying
don't.
it off somebody else. So how do you expect one person to be liable for that? That's what you call using somebody's using somebody's advantage, or Emma's bringing everything on the groundwork, using that against her because she worked the numbers and brought it up to the investment group. Now, if the price of cement or steel rods go up, you're going to use that against her. That just doesn't make any sense. I have projects in Sierra Leone, and I will definitely tell you guys, since we started those projects a couple years ago, 2, 3 years ago, everything went up. Everything. It's called inflation. It's worldwide. It's not just in America.
It's going on in the U.S. too, so it's not just
Yeah,
inflation for America.
inflation is 7% in
It's
the U.S. this year.
99 cent store is 99 cent 50 cents. What? No, $1.10.
They're
It's no
about to
longer
change
99 cent
their name.
store.
Dollar store is about to change their name. Like, nah.
$1.10.
Too many of y'all people come in here thinking y'all gonna get everything for $1. We're changing our name from the dollar store. So hey,
But yeah, so that's a very very important point. So flexibility. That's something else. So the question of who controls the business, right? I think this is very vital. A lot of people would like to know if we intend to hire a CEO. Obviously, since 5% is distributed evenly across 20 people. Can you talk a little bit more about that, Stefan?
yeah. So the whole point, if we do it the way where we get a management structure, now first of all, while development is going on, Emma usually has her people on the ground. So there will be somebody in charge of, the development as far as making sure people aren't stealing materials, making sure the money that the investment group is putting in the account, that they're taking it out, buying the certain materials when they're supposed to. So you'll always need that person on the ground right there. That's not the same person who's going to be the manager when that first unit gets finished. Now, if we was to hire a CEO, let's say Emma's a CEO, right? Because she's not going to be doing extra work for 5%. Now, that's something that we would have to pay out. We would have to actually pay a CEO their fair compensation. Now, should we be adding on expenses, or should we try to create a structure where we already know that somebody's on the ground, we're going to be paying this person, which is going to be a lot cheaper than hiring a CEO. They're going to be in charge of getting the money and paying the construction team as they go, not just throwing a whole bunch of money at them. If we need 100 bags of cement for these week or 2 weeks, that's what they'll be getting. But they'll be managing that. They'll be making sure people aren't stealing materials, and all these things are necessary. You need these things on the ground. But I'm not suggesting that we hire a CEO. We just need somebody on the ground at every step of the way, and that's the first step. When we start development, we're gonna have somebody on the ground to pretty much oversee the construction company, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. Plus, you need somebody to handle the funds. We're all over here right now, so we need that person over there. And if one of the people in the investment group is going to be going over there to handle that stuff, well, yeah, then you'll have to pay this person a CEO. They're not going to want 5%. Like you sitting there in America, you just lay back, watching your Netflix, the other person on the ground, and both y'all want the same 5%. Is just not fair. We need to pay somebody who's on the ground, but I don't necessarily feel like we need a CEO if we can come to an agreement of, putting a management team in place when that first unit gets built. Leading up to that point, have somebody as an overseer on the ground to manage the construction company and to pretty much be the middleman for the funds. And obviously, Emma has people trusted on the ground that are waiting to do these things. So I'd rather take that route. That's a cheaper route than trying to get a CEO in place to oversee everything, because now we're creating expenses without even having any income.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. What else? Something else.
I'm
I
sure
think
you get
I,
all kinds of crazy things in your email.
yeah, I'm going blank. I think somebody made an inquiry about, our role in terms of decision making and hiring the management team and all of those things. So that's a frequently asked question. Um, in terms of decision making out of the 20 people, obviously we can have all 20 people make a decision on what type of drink to have or who to hire. So as we said during the vetting process and the ongoing vetting process is that Stefan and I, we will make the decision at first, and then later on down the line, if we do decide to hire a CEO, then the decisions can obviously go to the board and other things. But for now, as we start, those decisions will be made by us.
Yeah, and mostly I'm not interested in making decisions. I just don't want 18 other people making
Right.
decisions. If you bring somebody, you suggest, hey, this person can handle the job. Let's give this person a shot. I already know you're not hiring any family or friends.
Nope, I
I'm gonna
don't.
co-sign, I'm gonna co-sign on that regardless. If you bring this person, because let's keep it honest, I don't know this person from anywhere. How can I say yes or no? This person obviously is probably not gonna have a degree in hospitality or anything like that. So come on, we over here in Liberia. If she bring me somebody and says, I think this person can handle the job, let's give them a shot, I will not say no. But what I don't want it to be is 18 other people having to be like, well, uh, what hotel you ran before? What you did this? What you did that? Like, and then they don't have anybody else. I mean, hopefully, like we said, no family and friends.
Right.
So how can you honestly say yes or no? You're not on the ground. You know, you don't have anybody else lined up to do this. So I feel like if Emma brings somebody up, she's not gonna just throw anybody out there. So if she brings up somebody up and say, hey, I think this person can handle this job, then I think that should be good enough for us, right? Because the whole reason we're investing in this project is because we have trust in Emma. Let's keep it real. If Emma wasn't involved, this is not going to be possible. So to try to step in at different points and call shots when you know you're not on the ground, you don't have people that's lined up that can even take this role on. That's a little unfair. You want her to have people lined up so you can knock the no, not this person, not this person. Like, nah, that's anybody she brings up, if she feels that person can handle it or worth giving a shot, then I'm all for it. I co-sign on that because none of us know that person. We don't have anybody else, and we're not bringing any family or friends on. So that leaves us a very small, limited group of people like that can actually take this role. So I say, um, let Emma bring somebody forward. Now, if I'm on the ground over there as I go back and forth, if I meet somebody and this person just because I'm a people person, like certain people stick out to me. Like I notice when people stick out, I can point somebody out and be like, okay, there's something different about this person right here. So if I bring somebody forward to Emma, like Emma, hey, I think this person right here, you know, obviously put them through a couple of little tests and trials and stuff like that, and if they pass those tests and I say, hey, Emma, I think this person we should give a shot, I'm sure she won't dispute that either unless she knows something about this person. So to leave it up to 18 other people to be like, nah, not this person, not this person. Like, what are you really basing that decision on? That's my only question. And I think that's a fair question. So if Emma brings somebody up, because like I said, all these things are only possible because Emma has her resources on the ground. For the rest of us just sitting over here in America, those things aren't possible for us. So if you have an opportunity, right, that wouldn't be possible without Emma and she brings it forward, don't try to act like you're in a position where you want to call shots. Like $10,000 is such a small barrier to entry. And I'm sorry to sound like this, I'm just keeping it honest because some people want to come on your email and act like their $10,000 is just so much money. Like, no, I lost way more than $10,000 last year just on dumb investments. $10,000 is not a lot of money. As we move forward, $10,000 is not a lot of money. $10,000 you can't even survive for 6 months in America. So that same $10,000 is going to let you call shots for years and years and do all these other things and boss people around. I mean, come on, just recognize a good opportunity. If you make it in the group, that's your $10,000. Be a person that we can work with. Don't try to be calling shots because of your $10,000. And I'm just gonna keep it honest with you guys. If it wasn't for Emma, we wouldn't even be having this discussion right now. If she wasn't involved in this project, I would not be trying to work with you guys. I'm gonna just keep it 100% honest. It's because my faith in her that I'm even willing to come on this live and willing to work with you guys and willing to give this a shot and willing to put that extra work in speaking and vetting with you guys. But usually I keep a very, very small circle. A lot of times I do things by myself or I have a very small group of people that I know and trust, like trust with my life. And I don't work with strangers at all. I'm only doing this because of her. So let's keep that same faith, right? That we're investing our money because of Emma, let's keep it honest, let's keep it real, and put that faith and trust that, she's not going to bring us somebody to manage this company. Somebody's going to put us at risk. Now, I'm not saying hold her accountable if something happened. Oh, why am I going to bring the other person to the time? That person will get cut, and the next person will come up. It's not her fault. You know what I mean? We all have bad experiences with people. Sometimes people do make it through, that they're not supposed to, but for whatever reason they do. But believe we're gonna have systems in place that if this person's not doing what they're supposed to do, they are gonna get cut, no questions asked. So that's why it's important, no family or friends, no emotional ties. So if this person's not doing their job, they're gonna get cut. But for everybody to try to have a say on who this person is, we're not on the ground. We don't know this person. If Emma brings us somebody, we should have that same trust that we have in her by giving her our money, right? The same trust when we send her money to purchase land for us and do all these things. We should keep that same trust into this business. That's all we're asking for. That's who we're looking for. I mean, just keep it honest. I hate beating around the bush and wasting my own time. So I just like
I think also too people have to understand that I have 5% too, right? So if I do bring somebody that's going to jeopardize the business, it will jeopardize my investment, my time that I've invested in the idea. And so I think it's very important to evaluate that too. If we all go down, I go down because obviously my own $10,000 in time has been invested. Look, to vet people for like a whole week or two, it's a lot of my time. And as you know, we were on there from morning till 6, 7 p.m. And so, taking all this time for $10,000 is just a little.
Yeah. Plus, we're gonna be our community is right there in Brewerville. So whoever this person is, this manager, like they're gonna have smoke being blown down their neck. No, we're not. It's not like they're gonna be doing stuff we don't know. Nah, we're right there. Like we're right down the street. We're gonna know what this person's doing. If something shady or something doesn't seem right, like we're gonna pull that person's card. Believe us, we're not gonna be right there and just let whatever happen. But for everybody to have a say on this, nah, don't bring that person. Don't bring. Well, what are you basing that decision on? Do you know this person personally? Did they do something that would make you think they're not qualified for the job? Nah, I just don't like this person. Bring me somebody else. Like, come on, man. Serious right now? That's how I'm looking at it.
Let's hope. Let's hope it's not going to get to that.
Huh? Nah, but when people say,
Yeah,
okay, well, why? If somebody says, why do Emma need to make the decision on who the manager is? Well, my first question is, do you have somebody better? Is it your family, your friend? Yeah, that's my uncle from this side. No, I'm good. Nope.
Yeah.
You're not gonna let them cut your uncle off. If your uncle not doing the job, you're gonna try to hang on to him and hang on tight. No, this is my favorite uncle. This my sister. This my mother's big brother. He got 10 kids, got 5 wives. Like, you gonna give us the whole rundown. Don't want to hear. So I'm just
that's funny.
Yeah, that's how it goes. You know that's how it goes.
The other aspect to know is the main goal of this investment group is real estate and tourism. So as an investor coming in, it's important to understand that we are not going to deviate from the main goal. So if you're coming in as an investor and wanting to be a part of this investment group, you're not going to say, okay, because we are an investment group, we have to go invest in water processing. This business is centers around real estate, tourism, excursion, those type of things. So if the goal in our short term or long term goal is to go to another side of Liberia, let's say Grand Bassa County, to go establish something like this, that would make more sense, right? But if you come up and say, look, let's go and invest in a water processing plant, it's a great idea, okay? Or waste management is a great idea. However, we're not into that. So we're not gonna go beyond our scope.
Right.
Very important.
Yeah, so that's something else that that you was telling, or we was telling people too, coming in, is because everybody, people want to throw ideas out there, which is fine. We're gonna decide on these things together, but as long as it fits in the grand scheme of what we're trying to do, which is a hotel style resort with excursions and having a restaurant, bars, if it fits those criterias, then yes, we're all for it. We're trying to make as much money. We're trying to maximize our profits, but we're not trying to get involved in other businesses that don't have anything to do with hotels or excursions or tourism. Not in this initial group. It doesn't mean that we can't take that concept and have another group or another kind of investments. I'm the kind of person, I love money. If there's an investment opportunity, I'm all ears. But if we got a group of this size and we're coming together collectively to work on this project, then let's keep this investment group in this project together as a whole and not get sidetracked. So I know people come in with different ideas. Let's do this, let's do that. Well, if it got to do with hotel, tourism, excursions, then I'm all for it. So yeah, that's important also.
Okay, let's take some comments here.
Yeah, somebody came in late. They were asking what is this investment about?
Okay.
I think maybe they're tuned in for a little bit now, so maybe they do understand. It was Festo. It was 807. So yeah, that was a while ago. So maybe he's clear on that now. If not, Festo, just let us know. But we're basically coming together to try to build this resort. It's going to be on 1.5 acres, and hopefully be involved in different aspects of the tourism business and find different ways to make money off guests that are going to be staying at this resort.
Okay. No, of course, investors should not be involved. Investors should not be involved in the day-to-day operations. I mean, obviously, 5%. Why do you want to take your whole life to just go and manage your resort? Like, I don't understand. You could have 100% to something else or 50%. So, um, if you want to do day-to-day management, hey, I don't know about that, but that's your issue.
I'll be back to so I can't see.
Anyway, so is the investment group still open to vetting? Yes, we are. I know prior to this life, I had like 57 people who inquired, and we did vet others last week. But we are still open because the simple fact is we need to align ourselves with people, like minded people. It's one thing to get excited, and there's another thing to execute. Okay, so we're looking for like-minded people to join for the long-term, gains that we're looking for. Not necessarily so people who are going to be excited now, and then tomorrow that that all cools down, and then now to hit reality of ROI, people want immediate return, which of course does not work in this case. And so we want to make sure we're vetting other right people. Yes, so the response is the group is still open. I hope to get back, of course, after talking to Stefan and reviewing all of these responses, to get back to everyone by the close of Thursday next week.
Did you ever pull that picture up that you was gonna share?
You know what? I'm so technology not around, so I have a
Using
picture.
your phone. My bad. I forgot you using your
Look,
phone.
can you guys see?
Yes, we can. You want to put it closer? Yeah, so that's the proposed building right there. So as you guys see, very modern. 3 units on the left, 3 units on the right, and we're gonna take a quote also to see what it would cost to stretch that building out a little bit. Maybe try to get 3 units, so 6 units, maybe 6 in the front and another 6 in the back, so 12 unit. That would be great. But like I said, we're gonna try to stay in that $200,000 budget. So whichever one we can pull off over there, if there's any that's in the middle, then we're gonna discuss it with the investors. But we can get a 12 unit over there. And also, as we finish this first unit, I guess that's something else we'll be able to discuss as a whole, or see if we want to put in the contract, because we can mix these up. It don't always have to be the same 2 bedroom, 2 bath setup. We can have some units with 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom. Maybe somebody's coming by themselves, right? So we don't have to force people to take the 2 bedroom, even though it's only one person. So we can mix these units up to just meet the demands of different people and different accommodations. So it doesn't always have to be these. This is the proposed start, but everything's going to be modern. Everything's going to be considered luxury, and obviously the units that are going to be facing the ocean are going to be able to charge more for those. And also, we plan on all the buildings are going to have open rooftops. because we want an area for people to be able to enjoy the view, go up there, chill, see the ocean. I mean,
Prime location, guys.
yeah, it's gonna
Prime
be a crazy,
location.
crazy view. And if you guys haven't seen the video, maybe go check out some of Emma's YouTube where she's doing videos in the community. Yeah, she's doing a walk down from the community to the beach. So that'll be that same strip right there, which in the future is going to be an actual road with street lights. So I mean, it's going to be an incredible view in the next couple of years, and everything the community is developing is going to be helping this project out because by the time this project is finished, our community is going to have roads, it's going to have lights, it's going to have a guard over there patrolling the area, 24/7. So, and these are things that this resort is not going to be responsible for, but it's definitely going to make it easier for guests to access the premises and also just help keep the area a little more secure. So, a lot of advantages going on over here. Great view, great location. Great investment opportunity. I could just go on and on about this place, but when I go there in April, I'm definitely gonna have
Just
some more
drone.
footage.
You're gonna fly the
Yeah,
drone higher than I
yeah,
did.
yes. This drone goes ridiculously high if the birds don't attack it. So we're gonna be able to see the roads coming into this place. We're gonna be able to see everything. Gonna be able to see my land across the way, right there, and
Beachfront.
yes, yes. And we ain't in the future. We ain't doing too much walking. We're trying to get some. I'm already looking at some little 4-wheelers and stuff, which is another great excursion idea. And which made me. It reminded me of something when I went to Jamaica recently. So Jamaica is a poor country too, like Liberia. But when you're on the premises of the resort, they don't see it as a poor country. Like you paying like $100 to go parasailing. Like if you want to ride ATVs, you're gonna pay $100. So even though somebody in Liberia might make $100 the whole month, nah, when you ride this jet ski for about an hour, you're gonna pay that $100. So keep that in mind, guys. There's other ways to make money off these guests. Just because it's a poor country, don't mean that somebody gonna pay $10 for a boat ride. No, when they come for vacation, they're gonna pay tourist prices. So that's another benefit of being involved in this industry. And all those countries do it. Let me take this. 1 second, Emma. Let me take this. This thing don't work as good as the Zoom.
I know. I love the Zoom better.
Yeah.
I can show everything.
Let's see how the blur go. The blur ain't too bad. I could probably rock with the blur.
So if
Yeah.
you have further questions regarding this investment, how to be a part of the vetting process, kindly email me at my email just below,
Yeah.
zawadym21 at
Yeah.
gmail.com.
And let me
Relative.
we don't read that. I was gonna take a minute to shout out Liberian TV because Liberian TV is on the ground, and I watch all the big.
Uh-oh. Stefan, did we lose you there? Okay, so it's Liberian TV, Jefferson Sagba. Thank you so much for always supporting this channel and other projects. You are doing an amazing, amazing job in Liberia, and we look forward to. Are you there?
My bad, I just broke up. I was in the middle of shouting out Liberian TV network.
Yeah.
Yeah, great content, doing great things for the country. I catch all your videos you guys put out, so more people need to get on that wave. Yeah, if you guys are in Liberia and go to Liberia, you guys need to be pulling out your cameras, your phones. You know that phone you paid $1,200 for? That only do is
Yeah.
talk on it. You be pulling that thing out and shooting some videos and showing the world. I mean, I'm glad that more people are doing it now because I think a few years ago you just didn't see anything like that. Like if you search Liberia on YouTube a few years ago, like you would see like some ancient war videos, like Charles Taylor videos. Like it's crazy, like how much negativity out there. So when you guys go over there, you need to be pulling out those $1,200 iPhones, taking some footage, going posting it on YouTube, or email it to Emma. Then if you don't want to post it, you don't have to show your face, but we need people posting some positivity. And Liberian TV network is out there doing that. So you guys definitely need to follow Emma if you're not already, which I think everybody on here is. But number two, you guys need to follow Liberian TV Network because they on the ground doing amazing things for Liberia, and we definitely appreciate it.
Yes, shout out to Jefferson Sagba of Liberian TV. These guys are doing great. More visibility is important for Liberia, so great job there for Liberian TV and everyone involved. My favorite presenter, Litan Bikuya. Thank you guys for doing such an amazing job.
Look at Mr. Answer address that question because I think Mr. Kankan 2000 saying what about 10K per year for 5 years before any profit? Bro, if we were putting 10K per year for 5 years, man, we could have way more than that done.
Right.
About 10K for the first year, and then when that first unit is built, just simply take the profit from that building to keep developing. Now it's up to the group how aggressive they want to be
Right.
after.
Right.
If we can all come up to a decision and say, you know what, let's put another $200 in every month. It's not going to hurt. We can afford $300. Then we can do that. But what we're proposing is $1,000 or 10K for the year. Build that unit, rent that unit out, and any money that unit makes, just take it towards future development. We're not saying 10K for 5 years. If we did that, bro, we can have amazing.
I mean, we could see a lot more done versus just the proposed amount right now.
Yes.
Remember, this land is an acre and a half, right? So we do have a big land space to include other things on there. So I mean, everything is contingent on how aggressive we all want to be. The investors within this investment group, how aggressive we want to be to build other properties, even the restaurant, the pool, the bar area. How it will be left to how aggressive we want to be. Sorry, I just repeated myself so many other times.
Yes. Yeah. But so just to clear it up, it's 10K for that first year, and then once that unit is complete, we're hoping to, we're gonna push that, we're gonna market that, and anytime somebody stays in there, any profit that the establishment makes, just simply take that profit after paying off the workers. Take all that profit, which all these numbers are going to be open. We're going to have a way for us as a group to meet regularly and for everybody to see what's going on. Like it's not going to be any cash transactions for the rooms. It's
Right.
going to be online bookings, so everybody will be able to see, the occupancy rate and when people are booking, how long they're staying. We're going to have all these things very open, but just take those profits. So after the first year, what we're agreeing on right now, we're not going to be putting money in. Now the flexibility part comes in again. That's why I like mind investors. If you ask me, bro, I could put at least $300 in
Right.
for
Right. Right.
years to come. That's nothing because that $200-300 we're gonna blow it over here anyways. If
Right.
I know that $200-300 after the first year can be going towards something that we can build that's gonna outlast us, then I want to see that done faster. I don't want this to take forever. So if the rest of the investors after the first year are open to putting another $300 in every month, then I'm completely open for that because I know that we'll be able to finish this place faster. And like I said, I mean, if we agree that we're not going to, I mean, hopefully not. But if that's something, whatever we initially agreed on, that's what we're going to stick to because that's what's in the operating agreement. But if we come together and everybody agree, okay, after that first year, okay, we're getting a few reservations here and there, things are going pretty decent under the circumstances that the roads aren't complete. This area is open. This area is not open. So under those circumstances, these reservations are not too bad. But what if every investor can put another $200 a month? All right, so that's $4,000 every month. Let's keep pushing this thing forward. Then I'm all for it. Like I'm gonna keep investing. But if we come in and we can't have that agreement, then the plan is to just take the profit from the first unit and just keep investing it. Just the key thing in this is not taking profit out. So if you guys decide that you don't want to keep putting money in, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop investing. I'm just not going to be investing in this because we all have to meet each other halfway, right, equally. So I'm going to take that same money and invest it in maybe my own personal project or invest into other projects only because everybody has to invest the same amount for it to make sense. I can't invest like be investing $500, $1,000 a month while other people are not investing because we're all even shareholders. So if we can't come to an agreement to keep investing after that first year, then we're just simply taking the revenue from that unit and just putting it back into the business without taking anything out. But that's not going to stop me. Like I live an investment lifestyle. Like
Right.
I purposely like try to keep my expenses low. Like um, I don't go out looking for flashy things and stuff like that. I make my sacrifice now so I don't have to sacrifice in the future. So you can have it either way. Either you can have those things you want right now, and then later on in life sacrifice because you'll either be having to work longer, or you'll never achieve anything that's major, but you can always have the minor things as you go through life. I decide not to live that lifestyle. I sacrifice now so that in the future, right, I could eat my cake, right?
Yes, I
Figuratively
will be
speaking.
right back. I need to get my charger.
No, that's cool. Yeah, so that's another important part too. To um, when Liberians, when we come to this country, because we're so deprived in Liberia and deprived in Africa, that we feel like we're entitled to everything. Right? That car over there, oh man, that's only $300 a month. Let's get that. Boom, that house here, hey, I can buy a $300,000 house, and all I have to pay is $1,800 a month. Okay, let's do that. Boom. Hey, these new Yeezys just came out. Oh, they only $500. Let's do that. But those things add up. They start adding up, and then you pay for it later on in life because if
I am back. Wait, he froze. Stefan, where did he go? Hello, everyone.
I don't
Sorry.
know what's going on. Every time I'm getting into the motion, I'm going with it. Internet be messing me up. I gotta reset my modem, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm into this. But basically, what I was saying is, uh, um, I'm big on the financial aspect of either sacrifice now or sacrifice later. So even right now, what I do, I invest my money. Like um, I run multiple automotive businesses. I buy cars, sell cars, I rent cars. I'm doing YouTube videos. I run my mission station. I'm over here doing these lives with Emma and betting people. And I try to keep busy, but the key thing is I'm always investing my money. I'm into crypto. I'm always looking for new ways to um, create income, especially if at some point that income can become passive, right? So I haven't worked a job in like 8 years. I've been working for myself. So
Yes.
like I'm always investing. If it's not in this project, it's in something else. And recently, the last few years, I've been accumulating a lot of land in Africa, but that's for my end goal.
Oh yeah.
So I have to keep that same mindset to actually go through and do those developments. So I'm not just telling you guys something I'm not doing, right? I'm doing it. And I try to tell anybody who will listen, how important it is. But a lot of times people come from Africa, and because they're deprived for so long, that when they come to America, they see this as their opportunity to have these nice things. Well, those nice things come at a cost. They're not for free. That car note you paying is not just $300 a month, right? There's other things. Not only is there first interest, negative compound interest, but
Depreciation.
also something they call opportunity costs. If you're taking that $500 car note and you're taking that $500 insurance and you're taking that $1,800 mortgage and you add all those things up, right? That's called opportunity cost, because if you took that money and simply invested it for a few years, that few years could have actually a major impact on your life, and it could actually set you up for the rest of your life. But because you have those things now, you blow that opportunity to compound that money in other areas. So I'm living this. I'm doing this. I'm not just out here telling you
Right.
guys. This is just
Exactly.
one investment that I'll be involved in. But I got so many things going on, investing my money, that I'm not looking for ways to blow my money. Every time I turn around, there's a different way to blow the money. So I'm investing. I'm investing everything. I'm trying to retire young. I'm trying to set an example. I'm trying to come back to Liberia as a millionaire, like
Yes.
something we've never seen before. I'm trying to be on there like, damn, how does Liberian dude become this millionaire? Like, that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to bring that wealth back. And then That's not even the end of it. We have such bigger issues, bro. Do you know that the Chinese people are cutting trees down, taking it back to China, making things, and then coming back and selling it to us in Liberia? It's ridiculous. Why? Because nobody's stepping up to fill that gap. Nobody's filling that void. So there's bigger issues. Do you know that currently we're trying to figure out how we can keep doing things like trading stocks and things when we go to Africa because we're so worried about internet? But my friend, he goes to Guatemala regularly. He go to Guatemala, they got 4G, 5G. They ain't got these issues. Guatemala is a poor country, guys, right? So we're lesser. We're like on the bottom of the food chain. I'm just keeping it honest. And
I mean, it's
most people's
true.
approach,
It's true.
yeah, most people approach is, yo, because we're on the bottom of the bottom, I'm just not gonna go there like that. But that's the wrong approach. How about if we try to change our situation so we're not always on the bottom of the bottom? And by doing that, we're creating value. And that's something that anything you want in life, if you create enough value, you can have it. So this is the way of actually creating value. So we're giving back to our country, but we're creating value. And when you create enough value for enough people, you will be known for that and you will be rich for that. So always keep that in mind. It's a value thing. When you go to work and you're being paid $10 an hour, $15 an hour, not everybody that works at that company gets paid $10 to $15 an hour. That's just what your company values you at. That's the value
Yeah.
you provide to them. So this is a very important concept. Once you start understanding these things, your mindset starts to shift. But a lot of us were not taught these things, so I'm not expecting people to just know it. Like I went through a large portion of my life without even knowing what loans were, interest rate, mortgage. Like I didn't know any of these things. So as I started to learn these things, I was amazed at how much of my life I spent without actually knowing these things. If somebody would actually just broke it down to me, like I'm a person that understands things very easily. It just never came across my path. So I try to share it with everybody who will listen, and especially my Liberian people. Like we got to wake up,
I
right?
mean, that's one of the advantages that we have in the community group. We share all these investment ideas and also what we see as far as not just investing in stocks, but like just the crypto market and looking at where we are heading in terms of the digital world. That's where we're heading right now. And as far as the community, we do share a lot of these ideas. And so in the community, thank God we have a lot of like-minded people looking to expand their investment, or even those who are very new to investment. Because I mean, stocks can get confusing, and I do compare Liberia to the stock market. So you either get in at first when everything is like so slow, just starting off, or you get in when things are saturated and prices are high. So right now is the time to just really evaluate your opportunities that you can find in Liberia to see where you can come in. Else, within the next few years, you might be buying things at a higher price. I always tell people though, land does appreciate, does not depreciate. It's one of those things. It's not a car, right? The price will continue to go up, and so if you purchase a piece of land right now, the price of that would not be the same tomorrow, obviously. And so you already have like an increase in your investment when you first started versus waiting 3, 4, 5 years, and then everything now goes up to $10,000 per lot, and then you're questioning, well, man, I wish I knew. Well, we moved and you don't
Exactly,
know.
exactly.
The investment team really changed for the country. I see a lot of young black people going back to African countries to invest. Yeah, I mean there's more visibility. For Liberia, I see that more and more people are talking about Liberia now, and so young folks are looking to explore those opportunities versus before. We have very limited information. On Africa, period. You saw a lot of negativity. Now the media is so visible, people are starting to see the opportunities that are there, and that's why we're here on this channel to educate all of you guys on those opportunities.
Right, right, exactly. And to even just form a network, I think a lot of things has been holding us down is because we haven't had that network of people to kind of feed off. Like anything Emma's putting out, like just the videos you putting out, people just watch those things. I mean, even just your video on your farmland and how you're doing the egg business. I mean, these are things people always want to know, but they just think it's impossible because who's going to teach them these things now. The information is actually available. Like
Right,
you have access to somebody who's doing these
right.
things. So it kind of throws those things out the water. Like you can't have those excuses anymore. And you make a interesting point when you do mention like the food shortage and stuff. And even we talked about this
Yeah.
like I think a few months ago. We're
Yep.
like, I
Yep.
saw that Bill Gates was the largest owner of
He's the
farm.
largest owner of farm in the U.S., but a lot of people don't understand that because it associates Bill Gates with Microsoft. But as an investor, as an entrepreneur, you look at other opportunities, and Bill Gates he has the most farmland in the United States. But a lot of people don't know that though. Like I share with the community group, by 2030, we're going to be at 8.9 billion people. By that time, you're going to ask yourself, do we even have the land space to produce food? We don't. And so if we don't have the land space, now I'm going into agriculture. If you don't have the land space, that's where now vertical farming comes in, indoor farming. So that's a great business opportunity to look into. And I'm so glad, the community members were able to get a lot of that
Yeah,
information.
yeah. And not only that, Bill Gates is not just an investor, he's a problem solver.
Right,
Think about when this man was talk about the internet boom, people thought he was crazy.
right.
This man understood what the future direction like we were moving in, and he knew that the future was going to be computers and it's going to be internet, even though people told him he was crazy. So now what is this man doing? Buying farmland. You think there's some people questioning him now? I
Yep.
mean, probably not. They probably like, oh wait, Bill Gates? Nah, we questioned this guy one time. That's like betting your money against Kobe Bryant. When you go to the finals all the time, you want to bet.
So,
Nah, you don't bet against Bill Gates. If this man out there buying farmland, you follow him and buy farmland. You don't question him. You already did that with the internet boom. Everybody thought he was crazy. They said he introduced the PC. Like, wait, what's this? Nah, nobody gonna mess with this. Now look where we at. We doing a FaceTime virtual call with a bunch of people watching and tuning in. Who would have ever thought? So yeah, you're right. And not only let me plug my computer in. Not only that, also we want clean food. In America, we
right,
get with a lot of garbage.
right.
So going forward, people gonna want some cleaner food. They don't want that all that McDonald's or grow me a chicken in 1 week thing. Nah, we want some clean food. We're killing ourselves.
Yeah, you guys can see that somebody who specialized in this area now does have the most farmland. What is agriculture, and I talk about agriculture so much on my channel. A lot of times, these farmland are not even expensive. And so if your question is, well, I don't know about agriculture, how do I get into agriculture? Well, you purchase yourself some farmland and then arm yourself with people who are into agriculture. Get consultants, get field technician. I share with a lot of you some secrets in terms of starting a poultry farm. Poultry farm is a very, very lucrative business. Look it up. Look it up. If you are doing broilers versus layers, very different things. If you're producing eggs versus just selling the chickens, very, 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 very different things. So for me, I'm more into egg production. Now, if you look at the business and the outlook of the business, you do understand that of out of all the of things in poultry, egg production is the most lucrative. And I gave you guys ideas on how to start this business on my channel because of course that's something I'm doing in Liberia as well. I have shared how you can start the business in Africa. You purchase a land, you build the farm, you hire farmers, you hire technicians, veterinarians, like all these things that I've shared on my channel. So you have access to free information. I don't even charge for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are.
That egg be good too. Whenever I see them selling the egg on the side of the road and they got the little pepper with it, pull over, grab me one, take the little boiled egg, put a little pepper on it. And oh, white man can eat egg? Yeah, white man can eat egg too.
Why am I eating egg?
White man eat egg? Yeah, let me get it. So yeah, eggs over there booming. I mean,
Oh no,
it's
it's a very lucrative business because I know around December Liberia had a shortage for eggs and they came to our farm. So instead of buying a card for $55, we put it to $70. Well, you can say, why is it so expensive? Well, people were not getting eggs from Europe. We are the farm that's supplying eggs in Liberia. Therefore, there's high demand. High demand equals what? Increasing my prices, of course, because you're going to purchase it regardless. And so from $55 per cart to $70 per cart, you do your math.
Right, right.
Very lucrative, and
Isn't
it's
there a huge demand also in a lot of things that we're exporting from Guinea, like onions,
yeah,
pepper, and a lot of
pepper,
those things like
very
that?
very much so. It's a high demand, and we have very few people producing those things, and so that's what I tell people all the time. You have land space available to farm. Get yourself some farmland, okay? It's not that serious. It's not that hard to get. It's not so expensive either. You can get some acres of land for some type of $500, or with paperwork, everything clear, of course. Um, but again, the opportunities are there. Agriculture is the future. The good thing about this business, though, agriculture, is that they don't tax agriculture product in the country. They don't tax equipment as far as if it's agriculture related. They don't tax that in Liberia. So as a farmer or somebody looking to go into this business, whatever equipment you bring back to Liberia, you are not being taxed on those equipment. And so that's something good to consider.
Do they consider like those tractors and stuff that was clearing the land? Would that fall in the category of farming equipment, or do those get taxed?
Yeah.
Fall in that category?
Yeah, it
Man,
would.
tell these people that we had to pay the Lebanese dude
Yep,
$600 a day
yep,
to clear our land,
yep.
and them dudes even like I was telling Emma, my cousin,
Like,
uh, he has a background working for an excavation company, so he knows all these machines. And they didn't even have the right machine. They just use whatever to just clear.
right.
As long as you get the job done, it takes them longer. They're not using the right machine, but they still want $600 a day. Now, how much do you think the operator of that machine is getting paid? What would you say, Emma? 10
Well,
bucks?
if you're looking at a monthly fee, you're looking at 150. So let's do it a little math. $600 times 8 days. You're looking well over $4,000, right? Almost $4,000. That's a whole week. That's literally a week. And this guy consistently go to other areas. He is so busy. Land needs to be cleared. So those equipment, if you are coming into the country as it being agriculture-based equipment, please don't do anything illegal. I'm just letting you know. If it's really intended for agricultural reasons, of course, then you can circle back around to however else. But
Right.
my
Yeah.
thing here is that you're not being tasked on those products, on
Right.
those equipment.
Yeah,
And
and that's something I'm looking into also. 'Cause like I said, since my cousin does have that background, we would like to get them new, but we're gonna be trying them out with like some used ones first. And I mean, I know there was good money in it, but when we saw the numbers firsthand on what those people charging, it just puts everything into perspective. I mean, $600 a day. I mean, in Africa. So when people tell you there's no money in Africa,
oh,
like
there's
man,
plenty of
this man
money.
getting $600 a day and he's backed up. You got to pretty much pull his leg to
Yeah,
get him to come out to you. He's
correct.
not just jumping on that. He's just like, hey, take it or leave it.
Yep.
It's $600. That's what we charge it. And I mean, don't we need him to even clear the beach land? He got more
Yeah,
work with us.
so
We got to put more
so
money in
he
his
he
pocket.
he will be clearing the beach land for you guys. Mind you guys, this guy cleared 15 acres plus in our community land, and he's going to be clearing Stefan's and other people's land too. So $600 times 3 days. Do the math, almost $2,000. Um, again, there's just so much to do in that country, and all of Africa. The opportunities are just so much. They make I cry all the time when I don't see people taking advantage of them.
Right, right, exactly. And even now, the cars that it kind of changed my perspective when I went to Africa, and I even like rented a car or paid a driver to use a car. And same cars that in America yet I've sold for like $3,000. That's the same car I rented in Africa for like 40, $50 a day. And I'm like, wait, hold up. I sold that car for $3,000, but I come to Africa and rent it for $50 a day. Come on, that's money right there.
Right.
So even some of those cars right there, like I'm gonna be sending them back, and that's transportation right there. That's money. So there's a lot of things that could be done over there that you can actually make money.
So yeah, darling. Okay, so if you're looking at expenses as far as this machine is concerned, the only expense, there are two expenses there, okay? But if one falls within the operation and one falls with gas. So gas, if you were purchasing non-gas fuel, you're looking at 50 gallons, okay? That's like equivalent to 100, almost $140. $600 minus 140, that's 460 per day. Now, 460 per day times 8 days, and this guy has like 4 machines that goes everywhere else. Do your math per month. How much is he making out of that? Okay, and so either way is very lucrative business. He's not complaining. He's not gonna, reduce the
He
price.
ain't losing. He
You
ain't
need
doing
your
it
land to
for
be
fun.
clear.
I said he ain't doing it for fun.
No, he's not.
And then the most important thing, which actually gets my interest, is this Lebanese guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
This Lebanese man ain't on the back of those tractors. No, no,
Nope.
no, no, no. This is a Liberian man run the tractors.
Yep.
So even if it's 600, let's just say his expense was $200, which is not $300, whatever. If he's making $200 a day,
Right.
the most important part that we're missing is he didn't work for that money.
Nope.
The
He didn't.
machine worked, and his worker is getting paid $150 a month.
Right.
So the expense is
It's
irrelevant if he's
nothing. It's
making a
very
profit without doing his money, because that's a scalable business.
right.
He can get 10 machines and
Mm-hmm.
people can be running those 10 machines because it doesn't need him on the back of the machine to run it.
And
So
two, he would expand into contract base. So if you clear your land now per contract, you can come back and clear it again, and it becomes like a monthly, maybe twice every 3 months. You expand your business that way, and you can have multiple machines to generate money that way. So like expenses and all that, I don't really see it.
right. And not only that, right? There's in that beach land that he coming to clear.
Yeah.
You got to do another community right in the back. Who you think
I'm
you
doing
gonna
another
call?
community in the back of that beach land. He told me, please, let's have a contract now. If I have a Liberian person who has those machines, trust me, I'll go to you.
Exactly.
But because you're not there, I have to go back to the Lebanese man in the second community that I'm creating.
And who's gonna be the one clearing our proposed investment land? Is it not the same Lebanese man? Bro,
He's not.
that man just made money off us 5 times in 1 month, bro.
Right.
Like, man, killing the game, bro. Like, it's easy math. That man,
Easy,
that's
easy, easy
that's
man.
why the Lebanese people, right? First they come over there, they scope the scene out, then they go and bring their whole family. They bring
Mm-hmm.
their friends on the ground. Like, yo, we
Yeah.
can kill it in this country. And they do the same with America. They get
Yeah.
they get these gas stations, and people be hating on them. Like, oh, these Indian people, they come over here and do this. Nah, because they're taking advantage of opportunities the very same way
Right.
that we can. So we shouldn't be mad. Like when people say, oh, Lebanese people this, Lebanese people that. It's not that the Lebanese people ain't stopping us from doing nothing. Just
Right.
because they're taking advantage, we can't get mad at that. Let us come in there, right, and do it, and then it could even the playing field a little bit. But
And
if
that,
only the Lebanese man is willing to do these things, then how can we be mad at him for making his money?
I mean, I think those people there, Lebanese, Indians, Guineans, those who are coming in, foreigners are coming in, are being very smart. Like I said the last time on my channel, those Lebanese stores, grocery stores, they contact me and they said, "Look, we have an egg shortage in the country. Can you only supply us?" I mean, honestly, if I was only focused on making money only, then I probably would supply them, and then they can go into the market and sell it more, and it just become very problematic, right? They are looking to seize any little opportunity to see. Why can't we do the same?
Exactly. They smart.
Smart.
That's smart thinking right there. Trying to
Yeah.
capture the market. If you give them all the eggs, then they
Yep.
can set the price on eggs in the area.
Yep.
So, hey, man, hey, I ain't mad at them. Actually, I think I need to infiltrate, right? Because I kind of look Lebanese. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go and just start working for them. I'm gonna get all their little tricks, all the secrets, and I'm gonna bring it back to us.
That's fine, dude. Just
Yeah,
try to just try to learn the language a little bit.
I know, right? They gonna be like, nah, this dude, no.
Nope, you're lying. But yeah, so any questions that you guys may have regarding the investment opportunity or in the investment group, please do so. We are focused on real estate, tourism, and excursions falls within the same category. So if you guys are highly interested, you can ask questions. Send me email, please. Please make it relevant. I don't have no time to answer questions. That make sense. Um, um, so yeah. Anything else that we missed?
Any
Stefan.
other questions? The comments went a little bit quiet, but I'm guessing people still tuned in. I can't see that from my side.
Yeah, they are. After the $600 per day, that is business savvy. Lebanese men eating good, of course. True story. It's there's a land that I went to take a look at when I was there. It's very nice, beautiful land, and next to that land, the houses along the river bank owned by Lebanese with boats, everything else. And, they're living a good life. And then, you see some of our people say, well, I can't go over there because of the traffic. Do you think that man who's making his $1 million cares about your traffic? Like, that's just a tiny part of your day. But these are some of the excuses that our people will give that limits them from obviously taking a piece of this pie.
Yeah, yeah, that's an important concept, and a lot of people do that over here too. And sometimes I talk about that with other people, or when I go online, or I do my little videos, and it's a defense mechanism that the brain plays on you, and some people feed into it. They actually need that, right? Because everything you do, like when I talk about, okay, I'm renting my cars, they're like, oh nah, I'm not gonna do that. What if somebody crashes my car? What if they smoking it? I'm like, look, I'm making money off this business. You only think about the negative things, right? The negative things come into your mind, even though as we speak right now, I'm making money off people driving my cars
Yeah,
around, but you only think about the
yeah,
negative. So it's a defense mechanism. People always like, we have a negativity bias. We're
mm-hmm.
more drawn to the negative stuff. That's why every time you go on social media, you're seeing somebody get beat up or doing all these things, because those are the things we're drawn to. So we have to be very, very careful of how we think, what kind of thoughts process through our minds. If there wasn't no money in Liberia, Lebanese man would not be over there. Indian
Nope.
man would not be over there for generations. You feel me? Those people blend in. They speak in Liberian English now too. So they're not over there for no reason. So all these things are opportunities. If somebody else can take advantage of it, you could take advantage of it too. You just have to override those things that your mind will tell you. So it starts with a mind training. And a lot of these things we're talking about now, if you had more of those conversations, slowly it'll start to override those thoughts in your head. But yeah, we're so drawn to the negative, looking at the negative side. Yeah, Lebanese man got to deal with traffic, but he's making a lot of money. So you think,
Yep.
like Emma was saying, you think he care about traffic if he's making his money? No. So that's the same thing. We here in Atlanta, Emma's over there in LA, and we got traffic we got to deal with too. But we focus on the positive. What's at the end of that traffic? Is it money? Is the money worth it? Yes, then we go. We don't try to talk ourselves out of things because there's some negative things. There's nothing that's all positive and straightforward, because if there was, there would be an endless wave of people lined up to give that thing a shot. So you got to pick your poison.
Okay. Facts. Let me go to this comment.
Yeah, somebody was asking about the loans. That was an interesting one because I was
What advice do you give to someone who is thinking about borrowing money from banks in Liberia for business purposes? If that's something you do. I honestly don't do that for many reasons. Interest rates. Also, to let me think about not making this political here. Hold on. So you do have high interest rate, right? And also the amount that you're looking to get, you don't necessarily, it's not worth your time. I personally don't take a loan, but this is based on conversation I've had with people in the business sector in Liberia, and how difficult it becomes for them to get that money, and if they do get it, it comes at a high cost. So no.
yeah, let's say collateral. What is the collateral? Usually, they want you to have some kind of property or something to
Yeah,
put on the collateral, right?
a very, very nice property.
Okay.
And if you don't, yeah, you're out of
So
luck.
this is something. Now, sometimes I don't. I gotta be careful who I tell this to and put out there. People like take the wrong way. I don't want to give anybody financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but personally, my plan, like I build my credit up. I try to take advantage of my business credits,
Right.
build my actual like actually take time to build my business's credit up, get trade line, all those things. And once I get set up in Liberia and I recognize these opportunities, I'm planning on getting the money from America.
Right.
And but you immediately gotta have a plan
You want to
already. You
have
can't just take
a
the money and
foundation here.
sit on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to just take the money and sit on it. I wouldn't borrow money from Liberia if I have access to America. This is the
Yeah.
country of loans and money. There's so many
Right.
different ways to make money. You shouldn't take money from Liberia. Get your money from America. At least when you sign that dotted line, like they don't want collateral most of the time. Good credit score is good enough for them. If you've
Right.
been in business for a few years, that's good enough for them. Like there's a lot of ways to get money in America, but that's the easy part is having that action behind it and being able to put that money to work right away to where it also offsets your interest. So if your loan payment is $1,000 a month, but you're gonna use that money to make $1,500 a month, then yeah, the numbers work out. But you got to be that person who not only knows about these opportunities but can take an advantage. But if you're in America, build your credit, get you
Very
an
important.
LLC, get you a business, get a business account, apply for business credit, and don't do anything crazy with that. Just simply use a little bit and pay it back, and
What
then
you
when you come
need,
to
not what
Liberia,
you want.
now you have access to the money, and they don't care where you take that money. They literally drop it in your account like the next day. Like, oh, what you want? 50,000? Oh, here you go. So America is the country of loans and free money. You just have to know how to use that money. And like I said, don't go out there and do anything crazy.
Louis, don't be buying Louis now.
Yeah. So this is how I start even some of my businesses. When I register my business, I try to build that business credit. I got good personal credit so I can leverage that into my business. Now, yes, a lot of times I have to be a personal guarantor, but that doesn't mean anything. It just means that I sign agreeing I'm going to pay the money back. But the difficult part is uh, uh, having a method to start making money right away. So um, yeah, man, don't go take
I
it
always,
in
if you
America.
are tuning in from the U.S. or wherever you are, specifically in the diaspora, build your credit, your business credit, and even your personal credit. Okay, establish something good here financially before you start investing, heavily in Africa, because you guys know I show a lot of what I do back in Africa on my channel. Once you have those things established, then you will reduce the pressure of yourself, because obviously the bank is gonna give you money, right, for whatever else you want to do back in Africa. But taking a loan from Liberia, honestly, I just don't recommend it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've heard people like saying that you got to put your property up and stuff like that, but I can't imagine that they'll give you large sums like $50,000. Will they
Mhm.
give you 50,000 US dollars? Like you talk about smaller amounts, right?
I'm talking about a small amount. I mean,
Yeah, nah. Somebody say not free money, but when I say free money, I mean like
the easy asset. I mean, you have access to it.
I'm
It's
talking about yeah.
exposure. That's pretty
They
much what.
say 15% interest. I'm talking about like on complete the loan. Like let's say somebody give you $50,000 and they say give me back 15% interest in the span of 3 to 5 years. As far as I'm concerned, that's free money, bro.
That's yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's see the level comments. Imagine failure. Yep. The imagine failure instead of imagining success. That's the first thing. I think the mind is just set to imagine negativity versus looking at the opportunities. We see threats first before opportunity, and that's something that we have to like kind of reprogram your subconscious. I'm a real estate developer in the US looking to visit soon. That's a very brilliant idea. I'm told because of high interest rates on loan library business barely survive. High interest rates and other factors, okay? Other factors. Scalability is not something that people know about. Strategic ways to market themselves is not something that people highly, carry on. Poor management is one of the key factors in failure of businesses. Very, very poor management. Um, 17% interest perhaps, and they want collateral, of course, and they're gonna snatch that if you don't pay like 28 months. Absolutely, I know somebody that happened to. Is there a secondary housing market? I'm not really sure. I don't even know about primary. Not free money, but money that could change your life. Well, yeah, of course. How to get started? In terms of what? How to get started? In
You
terms
have
of
your email. You have your email posted down
yes.
there somewhere. Is it pinned?
So we do the vetting process. We do Zoom meetings for this. Pretty much what Stefan and I would talk about on this channel today. That's what you're gonna get during that vetting process. So Um, can you also refinance your house if you need cash? Refinance your house in Liberia? Like, is that? Are you asking about Liberia? Or are you asking for the U.S. refinancing? 17% interest is like private money interest rate in the U.S. Gee, that's high, of course. Like 30. Everyone that I know who took bank loans from Liberia banks went bankrupt because of high interest rates. Of course, why are the rates so high in Liberia? I wish I could really explain why it's so high. Other than reduction of access, right? If I know something is of high interest rate and I'm gonna be penalized for that, why would I want to take it?
Because there's probably no competition. There's
Right.
probably only one place
But
to get money.
very low competition. Where are you going to get money? That's why oftentimes people on the ground don't really start, lucrative businesses, uh,
Yeah,
and have foreign people coming. But the other thing too that I have seen, I have talked to investors there. I was in the Royal Hotel speaking to Lebanese investors, and they go in pairs. It's not individualized. So a lot of times these people are going with their brothers, their hiring sisters, right? But they're going in with another person, a friend, a business colleague, and they're going as a pair to establish their businesses. What we try to do in our setting is to have one person. Emma comes, she established her business. Well, okay, if that works or not a business. But in these people setting, they have two people, three people coming together to establish a business. So this guy I talked to at our hotel, he said, "Hey, we are establishing sports bar. We're about to start establishing sport bars in Liberia." And I asked him, I said, "Oh, is the business just yours?" He said, "No, I have my partners, and they're joining in, and for us to like spread the profit, spread the responsibility, the financial liabilities, and so these people are working in groups." But we're thinking more so as working as an individual, and that sometimes become very problematic in terms of getting the money. That to raise the money, it is hard, and that therefore we can't really scale up. We can't really market well because we don't have the money. So
right.
these are some of the factors that are
And
impacting.
two things that mess people up: Africans, Liberians, whatever. One, people they're not learning about anything. They just feel like it's so easy. Anybody can do business. So educate yourself. I'm not talking about go to school. I'm talking about even YouTube University or learning off lives like this. Everybody think it's so easy they can do it. Um, and sometimes you're selling the game short, right? If it's that easy, everybody be doing it. Second thing, everybody only talk about getting into retail. Me personally, I don't mess with retail. Like, one word that I could say so you guys know me, what I'm interested in, outsourcing.
Yes,
Right?
outsourcing and
I'm not
producing for me is like just being able to produce. That's why you guys see I have a poultry farm and a pineapple farm that's pending to export pineapples to the U.S. I want to be able to produce, and be able to make not so much exporting and getting those things or importing and getting those things right. So
right.
you guys can go that
You're
route
looking,
as
you're
well.
you're you're looking for areas to be most effective and provide the most
Right?
value.
Yeah, more
Things that the country is missing that you can come in and fill the gap. Every time I hear a Liberian or African talk about a business, it's always got to do with
security.
retail. You're gonna buy something and you want to sell it at a higher price.
Right, right.
It works for some, but sometimes you mix it up a little bit with different business ideas, and
Pretty
stuff
much.
like that. Yeah,
I mean, like if you look at the whole economy, who's really producing? What are the production companies? What are the manufacturing plants? What are those things? Recently, I talked about water. Partner up with somebody to be able to bottle up water and also put water in sacks. Well, that's what you that's in manufacturing. You know what I mean? So it's not so much so I'm getting bottles from the US and selling it on the street. I'm trying to produce and make my own thing. And so that way there's a constant flow of income, and it spreads out over a long time versus focusing on the now. And I think other times too, people just focus on what's going to bring me profit right now. What sounds sexy. Business is not to be sexy. You're investing time and capital, and you're looking for profit. You're looking to make impact, right? I hope so. Business has nothing to do with your emotions. Okay, it really doesn't have anything to do with your emotions. So a lot of time people go into like oh, let me sell shoes, let me sell a piece of a shirt or something. Those type of emotional decisions is not really making any impact in Liberia. That's where you see like the Lebanese people, Indians are, selling. They have construction items, so they have material store. They know obviously you are going to be building, and therefore the money is there. They have grocery stores. You are going to need food to eat. So they go into areas that are very strategic because they know people are going to be needing those things, and it's more lucrative than some of these very small businesses that people are looking at.
Right, right.
um let's see, what are the risk factors? I mean, you should also look at security if you're assessing risk. I love the financial education and how real you guys are about life in general. Investment is a great pathway to building sustainable wealth. Of course, for me, my goal really is to leave to build wealth for my kids. Obviously, to generational wealth is so important to me that even though people always make joke like, Emma, if you have kids, they're gonna have silver spoon. No, they're not. At the end of the day, they're gonna also know what it means to make money. But I want to be able to have generational wealth to where when I'm gone, my kids can they'll be okay for the rest of their lives, and they're gonna pass it on and pass it on and pass it on. And so, if you do have this in mind, obviously you'll be more strategic.
Yeah.
Um,
And then in a way too, not only even just through your kids, but if you provide value on that magnitude, really essentially you live forever. Because
right.
they said 2 days, there's really 2 days that you die. The actual day that you actually die and the day that somebody says your name for the last time.
Yep.
So you create such a huge impact, a huge value where people will speak your name for generations.
Ever and ever and ever.
Doing so, you living forever. You solidifying yourself on this earth, and that should be everybody's goal. Once they get to a certain point in life, and I think we're just starting to cross that line to where we doing that. It's not a selfish purpose, but it's that you're gonna create so much value that really like you're gonna live forever.
Yeah. So somebody did ask mortgage. Okay, so they don't have mortgage lenders in Liberia. This is something that modern building construction is looking to do to add to our portfolio to build the houses and then see how we can give that to people, obviously at a very reasonable interest rate. And also if monthly, I'm working with my lawyer to see how best we can incorporate this into our business. But that is something that we are looking to do. We build the house, according to different standards, and then sell it out to people who are looking to purchase a home. And if you don't have all that money, how well can we work with you? So I'm kind of working that out with my lawyer to see how we can incorporate this. But as far as mortgage companies, none.
Good luck.
We move. All right. Derek, no mortgage business in Liberia, of course. What are the risk factors? I previously stated that. The people who own sugar and cocoa production is eating too. Exactly. I mean, Europe is a big market for cocoa, right? If you really look around to see who's really looking into cocoa, these are the Europeans that are going back home. I think there's one. I forgot the name of it. There's a company though. The guy left from Europe, went to Liberia, and established a cocoa farm.
Oh, really?
Very lucrative for him. I have to find it. It's on my Instagram page.
Hey, that show on Netflix, Rotten, got that episode too. Remember we
Yeah, it's
talked.
very good. Oh yeah, that episode we talked
Farmers
about.
have no control on that price. They sell those things for dirt cheap, and those people take that
Very,
cocoa back to
very
Europe,
cheap.
and they're well known in the world for producing this chocolate. But without the cocoa that grows in that region, their chocolate cannot be produced. So if the farmers only knew how much power they had in their hands, then they'd be making more than the peanuts they throw them.
Derek, I had a meeting with the mayor of Brewerville when I was in Liberia, and one of the things that we talked about was property tax to start to tax properties in Brewerville. It's not very it's there, right? People are supposed to pay the property taxes. However, because it's not enforced, that's why you can see people go with for many many years without paying those taxes. However, though, if you're so unlucky, they come to your house you're definitely going to pay. This does happen in Mangibi County. They do collect that, but again, will be at your own surprise to prevent yourself from, having issues for many, many years and compounding and adding up. Just pay the whole thing per year. I personally, to pay $50 per year on a property does not bother me at all.
I'd be happy
So
to pay that.
every year I pay my taxes because I don't want no, I don't, I just want to contribute to the I just want to be far away from the problem I'm trying to solve. So I pay my taxes. To pay $50 per year, honey, it is not that deep.
Bro,
And so
for my
on top
house right
of
here,
that,
$3,600.
exactly. So yeah, it's because it's not enforced. That doesn't mean it's not there. People are to pay the taxes on the property. Nobody's going around to say do this, do this. Yeah, in some circumstances they do that. However, it's not something that you're going to see quite often. But yeah, when I had a conversation with the mayor of Burrillville, that is something that they're proposing. Because I mean, if you imagine the people who live in Burrillville, okay, these are people who actually are from out of town. And when I mean out of town, we tend to have some money, and so these people can benefit from waste management, from good roads, if the taxes collected go exactly towards that. And we talk about the breakdown, how some of these things can work. And so collecting property tax in Burrillville is something that's on the table as we speak. So again, there are ways to generate money. Um, some of these are not high focus at this time. Tax collection needs improvement. If I build my house, I also have to build my side street in my neighborhood. That's why we have our community in Burrillville to connect to the mirror. I have to install my own water source. That's fine. That's why we
Yeah,
have the
that's
community.
why we have the community. And what I usually say is for the people, and Emma's doing a few of these community projects. And if you're involved in these projects, this will probably be the only home you have in Liberia with roads.
Yep. Yep. Because
Right.
we are about Stefan. If you want to check your WhatsApp, are we about 25 people in the Burrillville community group?
I thought it was more than that. Let's see. In the community group, we are, let's see. Group info. Oh, this our oceanfront group. We only got 6 people. That's
Yeah,
a small, tight knit group right there.
community group. Yeah.
Yeah. In the community group, we are 25.
25, yes. So currently in the community group, we are 25 members, and the goal for this community is to be a model community to where we have paved roads in that community, water, waste management, and these are not just dreams. We have discussed these things as a group, as a community group. We recently cleared 15 plus acres already, so the group put money together to clear this land. The next thing would be the security post. So once you have a security post, it secured the land, and when that does happen, the next thing would be water source. Right, for people to even start building the houses, we need a water source. After that is done, we're looking at road pavements. Okay,
That's just a quick video right there. Them clearing the land and stuff. That
yeah, wait, just wait. Just tilt it a little bit. Just stable it. Okay, right there. Oh, yeah. Okay, I don't know if they can really see. Can you
yeah,
guys see?
yeah. It's not really. It's the
Oh
camera's having a
yeah,
hard time focusing, but that's the machine right there clearing the land.
yeah. So we've already cleared 15 plus acres within this community. Like I said, but within the next week, I'm gonna have public works come there to do zoning because, as you guys know, zoning is not something very prevalent in Liberia. So as a community, we want to structure the houses accordingly and the roads accordingly within this community. So public works is going to go out there next week with the engineer and the surveyor to make sure things are cut accordingly. This community needs to be a model community in Liberia. This is a community where people are going to go and say, wow, roads are there, street lights, electricity in 24 hours because we're not going to be operating on solar system. All that will be there, okay, so that when people see this, they can definitely try to model after this community. And that's why we are very like-minded individuals. We have some people in the UK, we have some people in Australia, we have majority of us in the US here, looking to really establish this community. There are guidelines to follow. So if you call me for a piece of land, just understand that you will have to follow some guidelines to be like this. However, this community has been closed off. We've actually just closed off this community because there's another community being established behind Stefan Oceanfront. So Stefan's gonna travel with me everywhere. So he's gonna go. I'm gonna establish another community behind his oceanfront. So you guys who are interested, you do have the chance now because our current community of 25 members, we closed that off already. Okay, I need to add two more people just because I processed the paperwork late, but that would be 27. Close up, done, done. Moving on to the next community.
Yeah. And a couple of those lands I have, I think in the future I will be, building a couple of houses. And like you say, let's find people who looking to buy houses already built. So
Yep.
I make sure I save myself an acre for that. So
Yep.
shout out to Vision.
All right, so let's see here the comments. All right, tax collection needs improvement, of course. That's something that needs to happen. LEC sells light poles, $100 or more per piece, depending on one's portfolio. I think that's what that person meant to say. I was wondering how the government made money. I mean, they have these subdivisions, and they also have these small little entities that they collect money from, like the port authority, and that's a place that they do get money from because obviously people are shipping things into the country. Um, they get money from there. They get money from the business registry. They get money from other
A lot of different ways.
but you guys get the point. I think you get the point. Are there HOA dues for the community? Absolutely yes. But it's not going to be, I know some HOA fees range from $500 up to thousands of dollars. Because recently, when I was going to purchase a property in Atlanta, that HOA fee was just staring at me in my face. Anyway, I think the Liberian banks ask for properties to ensure that they get their money back. Yeah. It's not like overseas where they have other ways to collect. I mean, in the US too, if you default on your loan, what do you think gonna happen? If you
Gonna
own a
take
property, what do you think the bank gonna do? That's why you can see a lot of foreclosed homes because people cannot afford their homes. So yeah, so the same thing is very applicable to Liberia. It's just that it's done in a different way at a high interest level. We move. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, um,
We started off with the investment proposal, and we went all around the world, and now we back.
we are back, and so the community is closed off. This current community, we have about 27 people. I still need to process paperwork. And then, as I've said to Stefan, we are going to be starting a second community right behind his oceanfront. From there,
And I got plans, nice plans for that ocean front. So I ain't want no half cooked.
Serious-minded people, if you want to be a part of it, the same rules in this current community are applicable to that community. We are still looking to do the same thing in this community to the next community. I have 50 acres of land already negotiated for. So if you're interested, please contact us. Well, you can contact me too, for further information. But like I said, we are looking to work collectively in these communities. We're not looking for somebody who wants to be an individual. Yeah, you can build your house, to your liking, but the roads, security posts, water, waste management system, these are things that we as community members have to join in and pay for. Like we just did with the clearing, it was almost $600 per day times 8 days divided by the number of people that are currently in the group. It helped with cost very cost effective. And
Right,
so
right.
in the any other project we're about to do in the community, divided by 27 people, again it reduces your cost versus if you are doing something by yourself. I mean, you have your nice house. Are you really going to build your road? I'm sure not. So in this case, you're going to have a bunch of like-minded individuals who will work with you to build your road that may have taken you 20 years to build by yourself. Now it's going to take you a very less time, and you're going to be in a community where with management people are going to pick up your trash. You don't have to worry about that. At a low cost, water, electricity, because we're not going by generators, only if it's backup. But solar panels are definitely something that is within the plan. The community already has a plan. Okay, we're going to solidify when public works go there next week to make sure things are just aligned to ensure zoning is being implemented there. What are you waiting for?
We don't want to hear no generators. Right, you believe what?
It's so loud.
When I was over there, like people had the generator as their primary electricity. Like it never goes off. Like you got to talk over it, and whatever you're gonna do, you got to do it over the
Yeah.
generator. It just, I'm like, nah, I can't live like this.
Yeah, the reason for this community group is, typically you have developers, right? Developers will go to a place, structure the place and build houses. Everything looks nice, right? And then they sell it off. In this case, I'm giving you guys the opportunity to come and build your own home, but as a group to get things done. Otherwise, that you would have done by yourself. So that's the advantage. Instead of purchasing your land, building your house, and see a very ugly zing ground next to your house, you're gonna see a security post, and you're probably not gonna build the wall of China. A lot of people do this back home because of security. If you have a security post and a whole fencing like 16 acres of land, you're probably gonna have a little fence instead of the wall of China. That's an extra protection right there for you because you were gonna have people on guard, part of the HOA fee. So I know you all probably covered this, but is the group closed for resort apartment, the ones we were, the ones where we get a 5% share? Okay, so final decision will be made by Thursday. However, we are still vetting because, like I said, we don't want to just take the first 57 people who already applied. Okay, so we are still vetting people. You do have the chance now to email me, and I want to make sure that Monday is my last, Stefan, our last day of vetting on Monday. So please email, let us know when you can. Stefan's cutoff time is 7 p.m. To do the interview for this investment group because, like I said, by Thursday I'm going to be emailing everyone with the decision. And so if you're part of the investment group, great. If you're not part of the investment group, next time, okay? More opportunities are there. But to answer your question and not be around the bush, yes, there is still room to be interviewed like-minded people. Is there a conceptual drawing for what you? Yes, we do have that. We've actually shared this with community members. We have a whole layout. We have a name of the community. We have amenities already. It's already structured. We've been communicating as a group for quite some time now. Yes. No zinc shack. Yep. Oh no. So in the proposal that we've shared with everyone, the houses are just up to standard. Nobody's gonna come over there with zinc shack. Absolutely not. And when I'm selling the property with the property to people, I ask them, what do you intend to have there? The moment you say something different, I don't accept you in the community. Remember, this is not desperation for money, but this is more so to make sure that we're doing things right. And if your goals does not align with what the community is proposing, then I tell you, I'm sorry, I can't sell the land to you. I've actually declined 6 people, to be quite fair. One lady wanted to build some type of what's the call this thing in the back of the house, boys quarter. And she showed me the picture, and it was a lie. Okay, I told her I couldn't sell land to her. Another person told me they want to build like a little shop. I can't sell the land to you. And so if what you intend to put on the land falls out of our goals, I'm not selling the land to you. We just have to align here. It's possible for monthly payment plan for the investment. So if you are selected as a member of this investment group, you are to pay within a 12 months period. So we are looking for $10,000 with a level of flexibility depending on what we need. So this $10,000 will be divided by 12 months, equivalent to I believe $833. That's what your monthly fee is. So for example, you pay $833 this month, and then next month you say, you know what, I have 5 grand. That will be counted towards your money anyway, right? So that can be done. So that would be, I mean, consider a payment plan, however way you want to perceive that. Okay, thank you. Is that a different group from the one you are looking for Stefan Oceanfront? And is that also located in Baroba? Yes. So the current community that we have 27 members close off. The next community is behind Stefan's Oceanfront. Okay, this is a new community I'm starting. So far, I have 4 people in line for land there. So I told them I need to do some demarcations. I need to divide things and see how I can structure people. But so far, we have 4 people in line. One lady said she wants 7 lots. I told her I'm only going to sell an acre at a time. I don't want one person taking all of the land. This is not my goal. My goal is to ensure we have more people to help develop the community. So if you're interested, as always, I allow your family member to go and check out the land. After you do all that, then I send you a contract to ensure that my name is very, very valuable, and to ensure that your investment is secure. We have a contract that tells you, should anything happen to my land, I'm gonna find Zawadi M. There's nothing gonna happen to your land. You're not gonna find me because there's nothing gonna happen to your land. But anyway, so the contract will ensure to give you a peace of mind, and then you sign the contract, you review the contract, you review it with whoever you would like to review it with. Then you return it to me, and then you have a copy as well. You make 70% down payment on the land. I do your archive of document. I do your survey, your archive, your probating, your notarization. Then I have it prepared. You pay the 30%. I send it over to you via DHL. A lot of people in this life can attest to that. I have already sent the deeds to them. So that's something that is very transparent process. I'm not in no business of doing anything sketchy with anybody's money. Is dirt block acceptable in your community?
That's a joke, right?
Yeah. Right. I think so. I think it's a joke.
Not next to my house. Your
I
money.
don't have something going on this year, but we're definitely love to work with you next year, of course. Of course. Let's say I pay the 10K and assume the investment goes bankrupt. How do investors get their money back? Is your investment company insured?
In which way could it go bankrupt?
Yeah, I would like to know. Because the investment that we're talking about, we are building it an apartment resort style. So
It's no long. We're our own funding, so
we're funding the building project. So.
ourselves. Yeah. So after the first unit gets built in 12 months, then we're encouraging or we're looking for people to be on with us who are willing to keep the investment locked in. Meaning, after that first unit, obviously we could start renting the unit out. But let's take the net revenue from that first unit and further the development, which will have a whole proposed roadmap on the acre and a half. We could fit a lot of these units in there. We want to have a pool, want to have a restaurant, take some of that money, start doing excursions. There's so many things that this business or this investment group could benefit off that we shouldn't be thinking about taking profits out right away. But I don't really see how we can go bankrupt, especially since we're funding the project ourselves.
Right. We're not taking the loan. I mean, unless you decide to take loan, your $10,000, you decide to take loan for that, which
so what happens if you go bankrupt as an individual?
The company is not liable for your
And I mean, we do have a clause in there if people have to, for whatever reason, try to sell their shares. We're trying to make that possible for the investor to be able to do that. But in doing so and taking your shares out, then you would no longer be a part of the investment group, obviously.
Absolutely. These are very valid questions. Good questions. Good questions. So yeah. Um, that's all about it for the investment group. Any other questions that you guys may have, we are, like I said, I will be emailing. If you made it into the group, I will email you. If you didn't make it into the group, you guys, you get these letters when you apply for a job. Oh, sorry, we have picked another candidate. Very sad, but I'll make it very flowery.
Yeah, and there's no hard feelings should be involved. Doesn't mean that if you don't make it in the group, you can't still inquire to be a
Right.
part of the community. It's none of those things.
The community does have a good benefit too, guys. The community, I said,
No, exactly, absolutely. Which other house you gonna buy? Which other place you gonna buy a house in Liberia or buy your land where you build your house where you can go to your neighbors? You go to your neighbor house. What was that story you was telling us, Emma? Somebody tried to go to the neighbor's house and ask them for the information. They're like, we don't give our number out.
oh yeah, exactly,
That's
exactly.
gonna be your neighbors. You
So,
want to get with your neighbors to work on something. Let's build
right,
this together. They ain't even trying to talk to you. Not even to
yeah,
get to the part where y'all gonna get together and
right.
build a road. They don't want to. They don't want to give their phone number out
No,
to.
so you guys look. I have a house, or I have a couple of houses on Driver Street Highway. Um, I'm fencing my property, and I'm looking to have the road that lead to our various homes to be paved. So I go over there and I'm asking around like who has this house, who has this house, and they say, oh, the people don't want their numbers to be given. Now, because of this issue, we would not have a road. I'm not gonna fix no road for anyone. Okay, we have to come together collectively. My problem is my little 4-wheel car gonna keep just facing the pressure of the sand and the sand. By the end of the day, we're not gonna get this road done if we don't have a lot of people on board. Because I'm not gonna spend my money just by myself to fix a road and everyone take advantage of it. In this community, though, everyone's on board to do the roads, the light, the water, everything else. Is like a collective effort to ensure that everybody's good in this community. So
Seems like Darling Waywood is showing some interest, but he's having some concerns about but people are investing their money. It's possible you can run out of money and abandon the property. Abandon the property.
so
What
so let's say,
happens?
so abandon the building that we're working on. Is that the question? You guys, excuse me, I need to get some water. But is that the question?
Um, I know companies selling off their assets or abandoning it because of liquidity issues. I think that's the reason that we're bringing 20 people together. It shares the risk. It makes it less likely that 20 people can't come up with $200,000. And that's another reason we're stretching it out to 12 months because realistically, this project can be finished in 6 months. But we decided to do 12 months to make sure that people can actually afford the investment. So that's another reason we're vetting other people because Emma and myself in that area, in Brewville area, I've already invested probably like $60,000 or $70,000 within the last few months. So the $10,000 is nothing major to me personally. And Emma has multiple businesses going on over there. So I'm pretty sure that's not an issue for her. So that's
Nope.
why that's the process of vetting people to make sure the people who are getting on with us, they can actually afford this financial obligation. But I'm not. This land is prime location. There's no way I'm gonna abandon any of this land, bro. Like I got land like down the way that's actually worth more. Me personally, across the street, I own an acre and a half
Yeah.
right across the street. 15 minutes away, 15 minutes away, I own 4 acres. From that acre and a half, 5 minutes away, I own another acre.
Yep.
From
Stefan owns the whole community. Just kidding.
yeah. I own a bunch of land over there. So I'm good on my end, but that's why we're trying to make sure the people who are getting on individually can handle that responsibility. That's the process of vetting. But even at the end of the day, if all the other investors fell off, everybody want to get out, bro, I'm gonna see this project through if I gotta do it myself. And that's just
Hmm.
with you.
Yeah. But it's still 20 people. Yes, we are keeping it to 20 people. Not trying to go beyond this number because, of course, it could lead to something else that we don't want it to lead to. Um. Are the requirements to join available right now at this point? Are you talking about the community or are you talking about the investment?
Well, I think once you post this live out, we spend about 45 minutes going like in detail exactly what we're looking for
Mm-hmm.
investors. So some of you guys that are joining on a little late, when Emma posts this video as a replay, there's about a good like 45 minutes to an hour that we just talk all about this community,
Right.
everything we're expecting from partners that might get on, and different ways that people could get out, or rules that people should follow, what we're expecting, what we're looking for. And these are all things that we actually discuss if we were vetting you personally one-on-one. So maybe go back and catch this replay, because we've been on this live now for like 3 hours. So we went over a lot of information that you can get off that. But I would suggest you do that if you're really interested. And then the next step, if you think that you're a right fit, is to email Emma, and then she'll add you to the list, and we'll probably be talking at some point.
Okay, so I think I need to distinguish the two. Okay, so the community and the investment group are two separate entities. Okay, so the community group consists of 27 people at this point. Okay, so 27 of us are going to complete roles, work with on the electricity, water, waste management. All of those collective things will be done by members of the community. Now, you as an individual can decide how you want to build your house. However, the house will have to adhere to standards that have been placed within the proposal of the community. Okay, the investment group consists of 20 people. We are looking for 20 investors. Okay, uh, 20 investors will put in $10,000 per person, which would be equivalent to $200,000 we are looking for this resort apartment, resort style investment. Okay, so we are looking to build 6 units, 2 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 2 baths, 6 of them. That's why we are asking for 200,000. Okay, so 200,000, 20 people amongst 20 people, that's 10,000 per person. And this amount needs to be paid within a 1 year time frame. So $10,000 divided by 12 months, that is equivalent to 833 plus dollars per month. So that is completely different. Let me get back to another point. If you purchase a land within the community, the proposed community, right? You don't have to pay monthly. You don't have to pay over a 12 months frame. I sell the land based on how fast I can get your document. So you put 70% down for the community land. And then after I have all your documents available, you pay your last 30%. There will be no cost to you in terms of land purchase. However, as we develop the community, you will be paying HOA, which is homeowner association fee, um, trash collection, security posts, electricity, those type of little things. You obviously be paying that per month as a member of the community. Am I clear, or am I still missing things? Did I answer the question or no?
That was very clear to me. I
Okay.
think people who might have jumped on a little later um, might not have understood that. But I guess another thing too that we should stress, it just takes because the house, the land that I just bought in Marshall, like you're trying to help me out with trying to, we're gonna build a zinc over there. We're gonna find somebody to stay in there. So until I go over there in a couple months to see where I want my fence is, where the road is. So a lot of those issues we don't have to worry about in Brewerville. Like we're just sitting
Right.
back. We know we're all neighbors right there. You have Emmanuel on the ground. He's living close by.
Yeah.
That in itself is a huge advantage to people living in America and UK not being on the ground, because people are out here reselling land that everybody already know about.
Yeah.
So having that certain level of security is almost the same concept of getting 20 people for an investment group. You're kind of you're sharing the risk, you're splitting it, right? There's so many of us right there in the vicinity that the chance of somebody trying to resell your land or squat on your land is very, very less likely
Yeah.
because we're all right there next to each other, as opposed to you just buying your 1 or 2 lots somewhere where you don't know anybody in the area, and then you got to get somebody to secure it, live on there. There's a lot of things that you don't have to worry about in this community, which is why I was instantly sold once I found out about it. And another reason why I'll keep buying land in different communities that we go in and build these communities, because it's such a great opportunity, and it just takes a lot of pressure off you, especially if you're not living in the country.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if you guys have further questions regarding the community, please feel free to email me. Hey Em, I love your channel. You could pave the road that goes to the community and charge them tolls to cross. Ah, that is an interesting.
Yeah,
Because
landlord.
members of the community are looking to do some work over there. So we have some plans along the way. And if you're driving to this proposed resort, obviously you need to have nice roads to go there, right? And so if we come together collectively as members of the resort and community, combine funds, we can get something done.
And people who get to the resort need to go through security.
Yep, exactly. So
You got to pass that security post, which
yes,
another thing that the HOA fees will be going towards is making sure that we have somebody at all time on the premises to actually secure it. So the resort project is going to be benefiting directly from this community, because the community is uh, in the back of
yeah,
the resort is in the back of the community. Um, so just for somebody who's mentioning like abandoning the project, I'm not a fan of abandoning like $1 million property with a excellent beach view. So it's more like, as the more we involve we get in the area, it just it minimizes our risk. So even though the proposed development ground got nothing to do with the community, uh, we arrived there stronger because of the community is right there. So we don't have to worry about certain things. The roads are gonna be built, the lights gonna be built. Um, so
yeah. Okay, let's see what she says. Here she. We are not talking about your personal land and property. You guys are not addressing the risk factor that businesses face daily. Trump's casino went bankrupt. Okay, so where did Trump get his money from? Which of course is very well unknown, unless we all know that. I don't personally. Um, people bankrupt for many reasons. Okay, there's so many reasons why a person will file a bankruptcy, especially the rich people. There's just
well,
level.
but Trump's money is being borrowed, so that's what the bankruptcy come in. If
Right.
Trump was financing his projects by himself, then I mean, which rich
Who's
people do.
gonna bankrupt him? Yeah, correct.
But we're collectively pooling our monies together. So, like, for people worried about bankruptcy, like, I mean, worried about losing $10,000, then that's not the best investment for them.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned earlier, I am involved in higher risk investments. And when I'm getting into these investments, I realize that it's a higher risk and I could lose my money. And sometimes I do lose my money. And just last year alone, I've lost more than $10,000 on investments. But I'm not upset because I knew they were high risk investments when I were getting in. And I wouldn't put this investment in that category. And for anybody who thinks this might be a risky investment, again, that's the process of vetting.
Right, right.
We don't want we're not forcing people into this. If you feel like that $10,000, if something was to happen to it, then it could, greatly impact your life. Then I would say that's not a good investment for you at this time. Not saying that you can't, be involved in another investment, but it's all very similar risk. Um, like anything you get involved in Africa, any investment, I mean, there is that risk factor, but I don't really consider this project a risk. Like if anything happens, if even 2 or 3 people were not able to come up with $1,000, that means somehow they made it through the vetting process and they completely lied to us that they can have $1,000. But I'm pretty sure all the other members would be able to make up for that, and that person would just simply, not be a part of it no more. We would give them their money back, and I think that's something we can work out amongst ourselves. But if anybody's thinking that $10,000 is, if anything happens to it, you're losing sleep over it, then that's the whole reason we're vetting people, to make sure that, people can definitely afford that. But if anybody considers this kind of risky, then again, that's why it's not for everybody. So I
Oh,
don't really
so
know how to
I think, I don't know if something's missing, but we are not necessarily asking you guys or people for money to go and fix our own companies. This is a collective of 20 people coming together to form an investment group to establish um, real estates and excursion, falls with under tourism. So if you were to invest $10,000 in my poultry or my construction company at this point, obviously there has to be an exit, and how what what will happen to your investment, right? You should be able to, either it would tell you that if I merge with somebody else, you're gonna get your money this way, or this is the risk that you're gonna take. Now we're 20 people taking a risk. Okay, 20 of us. Now, the risk does not only impact me nor Stefan's. All 20 of us will be impacted if you're looking at it from that perspective. Um, so, if let's say something happened to this building, right? Who do you think you are you expecting me to pay you back when I've lost 5% also? Is that is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, as long as everybody that we're vetting can meet their monthly contributions, then we're going to be okay. Even if a few people um, can't meet that and they make it through the vetting process, I feel like there's such a large number of us that will still be okay. Um, Even if half the people that make it, I feel like we'll still be okay, 'cause we got
Oh
20,
yeah, we'll still be okay. So the
yeah,
thing
we
is,
still got 20
I
people.
merely said 20 people just because I want to open up. I wanted to open it up to more people. But to be quite fair, when I did my video in Ghana, when I have sat with this idea for a few months, I only envisioned 10 people.
Exactly.
And
10.
so to spread this out to 20 is just an opportunity. However, I do understand people have to assess their risk. When I invest in crypto and stock market, I already know what my risks are. So this is exactly the same way. I'm investing $10,000, which I will sleep good at night, even if it went to waste. Not everyone's going to think that. However, I see the opportunity there and I'm proposing it. However, we're not forcing people to join this group, and this is why during the vetting process, per clause, you are likely to lose your money. And if you do lose your money, or perhaps if you do lose your money, what happens next? Nobody's going to give it back to you. You know what I mean? It's a risk. I don't think it's high, but again, each individual can assess their risk to see if that's something they can take on. And so, look,
You
we've
know,
already vetted way past 20. 57 people have already sent emails to be a part of the vetting process. We've already vetted about 28 plus people, excluding ourselves. We've already have the 20. If I just wanted to just pick people right now, we will already have the 20. But I'm being very mindful, in addition to Stefan, we're both being very mindful of who will come into this business, because it's a long-term business.
yeah, and we are going to have that right, and we discussed attorney fees,
Yes.
um, a proper business formation, business registration, and also attorneys to work the wording out in the contracts, so that we do have a contractual agreement. I would never be involved with 20 people without an
Right.
agreement in writing and put my money into it. I think we're both beyond that point. I think you should thank me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so like I mentioned, for people who just jumping in, if you watch it, if you watch the live, maybe some of these people, they don't watch your channel, they don't know that you're already involved in multiple
I
businesses.
am so heavily involved. I don't need to show anybody my bank statements. However, $10,000, I'm gonna go to sleep. If I lose it tomorrow, I will sleep just fine. I also invest in cryptos. When I invested in Bitcoin, people were telling me I was crazy. Even to this day now, the same people who thought I was crazy are now asking me how many Bitcoins I have, and I would never tell anyone how many Bitcoins I have. At the end of the day, I'm an investor, and for me, I risk a lot because at the end of the day, there's no investment free of risk. And I have so much going on in Liberia, guys. To just be quite fair, I have so much going on here and so much going on in Liberia. When I just see opportunities, my ideas come in my head, I think about it, I assess risk, opportunities, threats, and all these before I can even talk about it on my channel. So this idea right here, it could be 5 people and I'm still fine. It could be 10, I'm still fine. So if it's something that's obviously going to be problematic for you, please don't join it. And this is with all sincerity. Don't join it.
Yeah. And actually, if anybody's investing in crypto right now, then I mean, you down significantly. So
Of course, of course, I look at everything that I've invested and I'm like, damn, it really has
even
decreased. But
stocks, everything, everything.
I understood before I invested in, these things that's a high risk. You know what I mean? So um, it's up to me to trade, to move things around. But at the end of the day, I understand, the issue with all of that. So
Yeah,
um, idea come up.
yeah.
I think it
I
makes
mean,
sense to me.
I feel like I don't know. The more people, everybody we've been vetting, um, we might have a couple people who's like more on the skeptical side, but
Mhm.
everybody else is just like, hey man, just tell me where to sign up. Like they're realizing the advantage in this, us moving together, having Emma on the ground, already being involved in businesses. So a very, very small percentage of people, and I probably mean like 2 or 3 people that I can even recall, even had any kind of skepticism towards this idea. Everybody just been listening and just been like, yeah, yeah, tell me when to sign up. Like I'm
No,
ready.
it's so funny because the last time we were on this live, somebody was saying like a white man would not invest in such a business.
Nah, he
And,
wanted to
and,
know, he
and
wanted to know his ROI.
yeah, and yeah, of course, when I so it's so funny when we interview Perry, he's okay with me saying his name. He's actually very white, and and he has been following up with us more than anyone else. So at the end of the day, like I mean, this is just an opportunity and nobody's forced, and I mean this with all due respect. Nobody's forced to join in on this. It's just an idea, opportunity. You can assess your risk and say, you know what, this is high risk, 10 grand is high risk, I'm not going to join it, and you know what,
Right, right.
that's
And it's
okay
not,
too.
yeah, it's not even like the investment, the idea is one part, but the people involved in it is also just as important. So if you look at like who's involved in it, you guys probably know Emma more, but if you just go and watch some of her videos and see projects she's invested in, her business she's running, you would know that this is a very business minded person. You guys
So,
don't
so
know me.
somebody said crypto is not an LFC. Okay.
He trolling at this
Chris,
point. He trolling.
crypto Crypto is an investment
He
that
just
is
trolling.
not free of risk. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, so if you look at Bitcoin, how much it was, like 50,000 plus the last time. Look at it, it's 40,000. I've lost 10,000 per each coin. I'm letting you know it's an investment. Okay, it's not free of risk. That's just it. I think I'm gonna pause on this, back and forth with this right here. The comparison is only I'm only talking about risk. Okay, I'm not talking about S corp, limited liability company. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the risk associated with investing. Um,
Let me ask you one question real fast, hypothetically, right? Let's just say we purchased that acre and a half, this resort land, and we don't even do a single thing to it.
mhm,
In 1 year, as we develop that community, how much do you think that property will even appraise
mhm.
just by us developing our community that's right in front? Just
Right.
by clearing the land,
The
now
price has
all the
already
land
gone
went up.
up.
The land price went up just for us clearing the land. So let's just say that acre and a half sits there and we continue to develop the community. In about another 2 years, the price of that land probably 5x already. So just that in itself is it takes some risk out because we're doing work right there in the area. The property value already went up.
So my last point. Okay, so you talk about risk exists. That's why we have insurance. Okay, so the thing is now, so if you're coming back to my stocks and my crypto NFTs, if I lose money in my stocks, which I have done with a lot of my pharmaceuticals and agriculture, who covers me? Like who's gonna pay me back that money that I've lost? That's the risk I decided to take at the very beginning anyway, and that's the risk I continue to take anyway. Now, as a LSC, as you're saying it is, if you insure your business, fine. Obviously, the insurance company will pay you for that. Um, who are you looking to have insured this business in Liberia? I think this conversation for me ends here because we are just going to be talking the same thing over and over. If it's
Once I said troll, you sure already know. I said person trolling, sure already get the sign. You like the dude that was on last time just trolling. That's the same dude that said.
That's the same person who said that a white man would never invest, and then I see a guy from Greece wanting to invest. He's probably
Oh
watching.
yeah, exactly.
Hi Perry,
Yeah,
if
bro.
you're watching.
Yeah, this gonna be the safest investment you ever see, bro. There's not gonna be any business you're gonna be able to run in Liberia without being on the ground. This is the only opportunity that you have to be, well, not you personally, but I'm just saying this is the only opportunity that a lot of people are gonna have to be invested in a project or a business in Africa while they comfortably living in America, working their 9 to 5 job and binge watching Netflix when they get off work. You're not gonna have another business opportunity you're gonna be invested in. So if you never plan on being invested, then hey,
I mean,
that's fine.
the first time I started my poetry and I talk about it on my channel, I lost 15,000. I mean, I went to sleep and I was still fine because at the end of the day, I understood where the risks were, and also what went wrong in terms of management and other aspects. Because I was not really involved in Liberia at the time, and I just put money into a poetry, and I lost 15.
Oh yeah, there will be a contract to let people know that obviously there's no legal liabilities, but uh, dream killer. Yeah, man. I think we at a point now. I don't think nobody can really kill this. I mean, bro, if nobody buy this land, I'm about to buy this land myself. I
No,
promise you that.
Stefan. Either way, like I think as we discussed, you know, when I thought about this idea, my lawyer said, "Why don't you just do 5 people?" And this comes right down again to the point that people don't like to work together. And my vision is way beyond this 6 unit people. 6 unit, way beyond it. I have such vast experience in Liberia where I've actually been very vulnerable here that I've lost with my poultry business. When I first started that business, I lost some money, which of course I still slept good at night. But then I rectified, and you guys have seen this egg. There's nobody, just I'm not just sitting on my
Yeah.
um
And let's talk about oh, lost Emma for a second. She probably be right back. But this land right here, I'm not gonna lie, we've been buying land in this area for months.
honestly, I really thought I put my phone is on on do not disturb, but for some reason people keep
Yeah,
calling me.
yeah. After your point, what I was gonna say, yes, darling, you definitely make a sense. We would never be involved without having that in contract. Of course, we're gonna protect ourselves. We're gonna protect everybody. So yes,
Look,
that's the whole point. Having attorneys
Stefan.
involved.
Not exactly this investment, but I know a Kenyan friend of mine who started a collective effort in Kenya, and he brought this up to his colleagues at University of Washington here in Seattle, and a lot of people were like doubting, were doubting the idea and all this stuff, and now the guy investment is worth $1 million in Kenya, and these same colleagues of ours are kicking their butt. I mean, at the end of the day, this is such a low risk. I mean, $10,000. I personally think it's such a low risk, but it's not for everyone. As we've mentioned, it's really not for everyone, and so you're not forced to join in, and that's part of the vetting process. And when I'm reviewing the interviews and the conversation we've had with people, I'm going to be very critical, in terms of who will be let in, because these things matter. I want to go to sleep good at night. I don't want
Yeah.
someone disturbing me for $10,000. I
No,
really don't.
no. No, that's the whole reason about the even termination clause. If that comes down to that line. But let's rewind a little bit. Let's go back a little bit. We've been buying land in this Brewville area for like what, a good 6 months now.
Right, almost 8 months. Yeah.
This land was never in question. If this land was for sale before, I would have been snatched this land
Oh
up.
yeah, Stefan would have bought it.
This land just became available like last month, and Emma was like, "Look, I got this investment concept in mind. Let's do it with this land." That land was not sitting there. The people did not want to sell that land. I own land across the street. So if this land was there the whole time, this land would already have been bought. We wouldn't even be having this discussion. Trust me, this is $1 million property. It's right down the street from a beach in a community. Bro, I was gonna buy this land regardless. Even if this land was gonna be bought. Excuse me 1 second.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, that's why we have a vetting process. Okay. We have solid people, but like I said, it's to give more people a chance to really evaluate and think and see if this would be best for them. We are talking about legal liability. Do it right, bro. I mean, we are doing it right, and we talk about, if you want to look up heritage law, that's the firm we are going through it to make sure things are legit. Things will be done in a legitimate way. Nobody's cutting corners, especially things that will live on with our kids and kids after kids, or beneficiary, whoever your beneficiary will be. It's gonna live beyond ourselves. So for me and for Stefan, cutting corners is not something that we are interested in. We want to do this the right way. And of course, I know the risk associated. Before the idea could even surface, I actually assess the risk, okay? I know $10,000 may be a lot for some people. But again, at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, do I take this risk or do I not? And if your answer is no, it's okay. If your answer is yes, it's also okay.
For me,
You know what? We will still
what's
be
even
fine.
worse? Yeah, we're gonna be fine. For me, you know, I never really like lost money and thought about it for years and years and years. The things that I do think about is missed opportunity. Things I've known at the time, maybe I should have did. I didn't do it. Those are the things that really haunt you for the rest of your life. Like opportunities that you missed out on, things you didn't do. I've never invested money and lost it and thought about it like, man, this and that. If I did it, nah. Those thoughts, they come and they go very fast. Not trying to make it easier for anybody to feel like they're about to lose some money, but it's opportunities, missed opportunities. Those are all the things that always sit at the top of your mind. What would have happened if I would have did that? What would have happened with my life right now if I would have did that? Like, I never thought about too long about the money that I've missed. I moved past that very quick, but I always think about missed opportunity. So that's just food for thought.
I think I told you guys on this channel before. I own a property in Ghana before I moved to the US. Okay. And I beat myself up every day for this. 17-year-old on a property, very low value at the time. And I left and I traveled. I sold it. Every time I go back to Ghana, I just kick myself because there's land space and that house does not even exist. But that land exists now and is over $39,000 per little space. Okay? So I'm more concerned with the opportunities I don't take. And again, this investment right here is not something that we are begging anyone to be a part of. So if you can, of course, everything will be written down in very clear, format. The law office and everyone else, attorneys, they are putting this document together for everyone's security, okay, for everyone's safety, and to protect people. Okay, so this is not something that I'm gonna write. I'm not interested. I have so much going on. I'm not qualified as a lawyer to do so either. So that's why we are having attorneys write these contracts for us. And these clauses are well defined. And before a person can sign, they will read those clauses. Okay? We move. And I think that's the end of my response to all of that. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think I understood that. I went to school for business. Like I said, people with real dream will ask too much questions. Yeah, that's for sure. Hey, community members of Sand Nation, Kuna. Hey, girl,
oh,
hey.
what's up? What's up? One of our
Yeah,
community
so,
members.
um,
Now, where all the community members at? I'm not seeing too
yeah,
many.
community members of Sand just got in. I saw Francis. He's in the community as
Oh, okay,
well.
okay. Yeah,
Um, there are a couple of people
that's
that
good.
have been
That's
watching
good.
this live. Elizabeth from the community also told me about this. Um, uh,
Yeah, they community people,
Jordan,
man. Like,
of course.
whew, those lands right there. I mean, them things
I
gonna
think
be.
I already knew. Okay, so Zawadi, I'm always proud of you. Thank you for motivating all of us. Thank you very much. Investment continue measurable risk. Measurable risk. Be it 401k, retail, poultry, yeah, everything. Who does? Those who fear incurring risk dare not try. Absolutely.
Uh,
Hey Nora. Hello Andrea. How are you, girl? She's in the community and she was
yeah,
very
yeah, yeah. I'm very familiar with Nora now.
yeah.
Very
So
familiar. Starting to get to know
um
the community
yeah.
members. And I
Yeah,
think, like,
other
man,
community members are coming in, huh?
yeah, I said I'm even just every time I think about that community, I'm like, man, I just think about how happy everybody in that community is gonna be in the next couple of
Right.
years. We're
You
gonna
know,
be
recently the two
like,
people who I haven't added yet, one of the ladies, her dad went back to see, and he saw the land clear. He
yeah,
was like, "Oh no, you guys are so lucky. You know, the property value will increase, and of course it is. It's increased right now because of the clearing of the land. Mind you, if we have a security post, the next thing would be exactly that. Oh yeah, a lot of people are here. Hi, Bill. Bill is here. Bill, Maisha. The numbers is right there. Yeah, everybody's watching.
yeah. And
Yeah, a lot of
yeah,
community members.
as my YouTube channel keep growing too, maybe they'll be like, hey, that one place, that one girl living Emma, that way you living here. Emma house. Be like,
Yeah,
oh,
I mean, you know,
yeah, Emma, yeah, she live in our neighborhood. She live right down the street. Property value go up. That's like that's gonna be our future little local celebrity.
oh yeah, for sure,
So
for sure.
all benefits. I don't really see too much negativity. That's like, man, even just clearing that land, that place looks so different. I'm like,
I know. I wish I wish I could share with people, but
I know
people in the community
this
have seen the
ain't going.
clearing of the land. Is there any more land for still community land that is? So yeah, success. Within our current community, the one that we have on WhatsApp and the one that we recently cleared, there's no land specifically there. However, behind Stefan's ocean front, I'm setting up a new community. Oh, community members, yeah, Annette. Hi, Annette. Um, Behind Stefan's oceanfront, I'm setting up another community of 50 acres. So I'm splitting that up. I have four people right now. One lady's looking to buy 7 lots, but of course, I can't sell a lot to one person at the same time. So for that community, it's gonna buy the most a person can purchase is an acre.
Yeah,
Uh, can you
pricing.
share the contact info again? Okay, yes, I can share.
Noel Brown, speak from experiences, owning a couple of properties, having some KK and motorcycle restaurant. Politics are corrupt and crooked. Now we don't talk a lot of politics over here, but I will say this from experience, right? When I went back to Liberia last year, those people when they do their corrupt stuff, they like it to kept under wraps. They don't like a lot of people known because certain people that are known and can point fingers at it, they don't like that. So for people like Emma that have YouTube channels, and for us that's outspoken, um, and even though we don't necessarily talk politics, That's definitely a threat to corruption, believe it or not. When I crossed the border, I came from Sierra Leone last time because I wanted to see the roads. I could have flew from Sierra Leone to Liberia, but I wanted to see the road condition because I was always hearing, okay, the roads are bad, the roads are this. So I say, you know what? I'm gonna drive and I'm gonna cross the border to Liberia. So when I went to cross the border, they was trying to waste my time, hold me up. You know how it is. They want money. So when I went to Monrovia and I went to the immigration building, and I talked with a couple people over there. They introduced me to all the way to higher up, the ministers, everything like that. The minute I mentioned, hey, those guys at the border try to hold me up and take some money, yo, the guy at the border had his people come find me and give me the phone. Like, please don't tell nobody. Don't do this. Like, they're shook. They're shook. Their corruption, they want it under wraps. For people who are outspoken, we out there, we speaking, people under us, that's the greatest threat to corruption. So, what I would say to you, even though we don't come on here and talk politics, I really believe the solution in Liberia is us just doing things, running businesses, building things, being united. That's the real threat to corruption because they want that stuff kept under wraps. They don't want people speaking out about it. And like I mentioned to Emma earlier, back in the day, you go on YouTube, you don't see anything about Liberia. It's only now you start to see a couple of YouTube channels, but how many of those channels are actually progressive and getting out there, actually accomplishing things? So somebody will be very less likely to try something corrupt with somebody like Emma, who has a following, who's involved in the community. Not saying it's impossible, but if we hear about it, if I speak to somebody and I know somebody did her wrong, I'm gonna try to let it be known. I'm not a kind of person like, oh, let me try to keep under wraps. So even though we don't talk politics, that's something that I did notice when I went back. They like that stuff kept under wraps. The more we come together and put our stuff out there, what we're doing, they're going to be very reluctant. So I'm not worried about any corruption on this investment property we're doing. Not saying things won't come across our path, but it's not something that's on the forefront of the agenda, like, oh, worry about corruption. Again, that's just another reason to talk you out of things. That's not a reason to not go back to Liberia and do things. It's because the system is corrupt. Let's
Hey,
get out there and get things
Lebanese and Indians are not complaining. They're making their millions of
done.
dollars, and that is all. Elizabeth Cooker, she's here from the community. Okay, this person BDB says 2020 says it's always a good idea to invest in your own country first, then foreign countries. Yeah, unless you're a millionaire, you might consider investing in both your country and some foreign countries if needed to diversify your portfolio. That is true. Um, Hi Elizabeth, thanks for joining in, community member. Um, yeah, so I think we have actually clarified a lot of questions regarding this investment group and the second community. Should you guys have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Just this morning, an African American girl, lady from New Jersey, she contacted me. She's very interested in wanting to be a part of this community because, I mean, more and more people are seeing that things are changing, and the opportunities are now visible for Africa. Before we didn't have much visibility, now we do. And so those who can see are taking advantage, and those who just are very skeptical, that's fine. Skepticism, it's okay. But you're missing out
But you
on
create
something
an
that you could
opportunity.
explore, huh?
Which other opportunity would an African American had before they met you to involve it to be invested in Liberia? There's literally no opportunity. There's
Right,
no
right,
chance.
right,
So
right.
you actually create an opportunity for people who did have an interest, but would just be like, "How am I supposed to do that?" Like even just traveling in Liberia. If somebody wants to say, "Okay, I know that African Americans have a past in Liberia. That's where our roots come from. Let me go back to Liberia." Where would they even start?
Right.
Like how? How would they even do it? So we're creating opportunities for people to even be able to do that. And as we create these opportunities, other people follow suit. We're gonna see more and more of these things unfold in the future for sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Liberia is like a stock market. When you purchase early, right? I mean, when a company first established and it goes public, you buy it at first. You assume risk, of course, but if you come in early and it does progress further, you become more, you get more of the benefits than if you come in later on. As you guys can see, there's fluctuations, but my point is, for early buyers, you can see the trend go up. Like when I purchased my DocuSign, it was $122 at one point. That thing went up to $300, and again, I assume risk and I still stay, but I bought it super early, and it just went. Liberia has the opportunities now.
Yeah.
What a price of a land last year is not the price this
Right.
year. It will
Also,
never be the same price next year.
yeah, right. When I look at, I don't have much experience in Liberia, but the project I was invested in, or am invested in Sierra Leone, like when we bought that land 3 years ago, there was literally nothing around it. It was bushes, very similar to like now Brewerville.
Yeah.
Would you imagine now that the people who build houses there, when we show them a picture or pictures of what that area looked like before, they literally can't believe that's the same area. I'm talking about 3 years ago, because you know we take pictures of everything. So we went around taking videos and pictures. Now, when we show the current residents of that area what that place looked like 3 years ago, they literally cannot believe it. And I see the very same thing happen in this Brewerville area. And it's already starting to happen with just the land clearing. People not
For
going to
sure.
believe that area looked the same when we showed them those videos in 3 years. I
It's
guarantee
not.
it.
It's never the same. You guys saw the videos I did recently when I went back home. You guys saw a bunch of trees. If I show you the video of that land today, it's not the same. It's already clear. We're going to start projects there. It's not going to be the same in the next year or so. So land does not depreciate in value, guys. You will always see
Elizabeth,
an
yeah,
increase.
we did speak to your daughter, Elizabeth. Very nice.
Oh yeah, we did. We spoke to your daughter, Elizabeth. She was part of the vetting process for the investment group. So yeah, we're happy to have her on board if we do decide to proceed further. So yeah, Stefan, we've been on here for 3 hours.
I
I
know.
know
I'm
that more
hungry.
people are watching this right now. If you guys don't have any questions at this point, my stomach is crying. I need to get some food and drink some good wine and relax myself. Today is Friday. Okay, guys. So any other questions, please feel free to ask. If not, I am going to eat my curry that I made.
We got somebody getting Americanized, cooking curry. What they call curry?
I
You know,
won't grease yet.
I think when I went back over there, I was like, I asked somebody, like, you know what Walmart is? And they was like, nah. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, let me cook my cook curry. I cook curry. What they call curry?
No, no, oh wow, black people are not united. The reason why the Indians, Lebanese, Chinese own 80% of black businesses in Africa is because of self-hatred and trusting of each other. Amen.
Well, we already have plans for me to infiltrate the
You think
Lebanese
we?
and
I'm
learn their
done.
ways. They eating quifu.
Yes, I'm eating creeper. Yeah, please. You guys are cracking me up. That's a good comment, man. My grandma can say, "I creeper they get to eat." That got me though. That tickled me for a second. That's funny. That's so funny.
Really, really, really.
No, yeah, I made some good Thai recipe. I made a nice Thai recipe yesterday. So like shrimp and some curry and some vegetables mixed in some rice.
How you think those kind of businesses will do in Liberia? Those restaurants
Okay,
with
let's see.
different ethnicity foods?
All right. So
You know, doing.
if that email didn't go through, let's see here. The email has been working for everyone though. Let's see. Let me use this one.
How you think they got Chinese restaurant over there? You seen Chinese restaurant
They have a Filipino and Thai restaurant.
in Liberia?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You want to go over there?
They have an India restaurant too, but
You know
I'm
what?
more a
Getting up
big
every
fan of
day.
Thai
My
food.
cousin will take me to
Huh?
that. I said my cousin, every day we was over there. He was taking me to that Ghana chop bar.
Then I chop back. Oh, you went over
Yeah,
there?
smash that duck loon. I told him, yo, where they got the duck loon in this country? He's like Ghana chop bar. Let's go. Went there like
Yeah,
every
yeah,
day. Ghana
gonna
chop
chop
bar
back. Yeah.
is on point.
There's a restaurant that where Mr. Fopo, right? You know Mr. Fopo.
Yeah.
He took me to this place called Evelyn's, and man, I really enjoy the food.
That sounds familiar. Evelyn's.
Evelyn, Singapore area, very clean, very, they work well. That's he took me over there. I was like, yo, so that's why all you guys come, huh? But yeah, it's really decent Liberian
Did you
restaurant
put a
they have.
YouTube video? You didn't put it on YouTube, right?
No, I didn't.
I
I
seen it
didn't do
on
a
somebody
video.
else's video. I think that place sounds very familiar.
Yeah,
Evelyn's.
she moved location at she has one some other place, but yeah, I like that restaurant. I went there once and I like her business and all that. So okay, yeah.
Noel, what's the name of your Caribbean restaurant?
Huh?
Noel Brown said I'm
No,
opening
you
up a
opened a
Caribbean
Caribbean
restaurant.
restaurant in Buchanan. Oh, Stefan, you know the investment opportunity I told you about in Grand Bassa County? That's closer to the one I sent you recently with the waterfront. That's where he's talking about.
Oh, Buchanan over there.
That side of town, yeah.
Yeah, I plan on. I kind of want to go over there too. We got to
Yeah,
make it
yeah.
grow. We're gonna be busy. Christopher better be
I mean,
ready, man.
I was telling your sister that we'll go to Kilmau. We can go check out Grand Bassa as well when we all get there.
Yeah.
But
Of
anyway,
course. Okay, Christopher gonna be busy, man. We got to bring something nice for Christopher.
oh yeah, he's ready. He's ready for us.
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, anyway, you guys, thank you guys for watching this live, especially members of the community and those who are not part of the community. Thank you all for always supporting this channel. Helping people build generational wealth and see how we can all make an impact in Liberia, what kind of opportunities we can look into, how can we be supportive to each other. That's the goal of this channel because collaboration is actually key. Businesses that collaborate tend to see high profit margins. This is, you can go on Google and go read articles about it. The information is there. And so part of building Liberia is to increase our efforts, okay? Instead of having Cornerstone sit for 10 years, you want to rethink and see what you can build there. Instead of complaining about your business not functioning, maybe you want to assess what you did wrong as a business person. Your staff management, your management of your business, your efforts. You can't fully just be in the United States and run your business here if you have not been on the ground or have you established a good team member or members in Liberia. It don't work like that. I've given you guys a testimony of my poultry farm. I was not very involved. I went back home. I established myself. And so I can sleep here and my business function because I have good team members in place. So if your business didn't work out, you might want to assess what you did wrong. Two, instead of saying that place is not good for business, you need to ask yourself, what mechanism did I put in place? What type of root cause analysis did I do? What did you do as a business person that made your business to feel miserably? Okay, like what did you do? You have to assess that. Don't go live or telling everyone the place is not good for business because you know why? You probably didn't do the right thing. If that was the case, if Liberia was not conducive for business, the Indian people that you guys see that will never be there. The Chinese people that run the majority of your sand mining business, they won't be there. The Lebanese people will not be there if it was not conducive at all. So the excuse, you might want to rethink your own strategy. Um, what's next? That's the name. Okay, Emma. Oh, wait. Oh, what's next is the name. Zawadi, my wife and I recently bought 4 acres farmland in Ganta. Good place. Actually, Ganta is a really, really good name back here. For poultry farming, what's the cost of starting a small scale farm such as yours? If you build the poultry building, you could run between $19,000 if you're building 2 buildings. So you have the brooding house, and you also have where they can house them after 6 weeks. So those 2 buildings will run between that amount. And then you look at your operations will be contingent on the number of birds that you have. So if you have 500 plus birds, you will have to see the ratio of feed, and feed is very costly. So per bag of feed will range from $35 to $40 per bag. So if you have 500 birds, you have to do your measurement to see how many how many grams of feed they can eat per day. So 500 birds, if you're feeding them 3 times a day, you could say per week you're utilizing 1 bag of feed. So you doing that for 6 months. You have to see how much more, because feed takes a lot of your financial resources when it comes to that business, because then you have supervisor, you have maintenance, you have security. All of those things is not as costly compared to the feed, so that's what you might want to look more into. Barbados Foods. Okay, Barclay was from Barbados. He was the past president. Okay, sure. Um, oops. So yeah, poultry business is very lucrative. It's highly it's not capital intense in terms of just the building and staffing, but where you see a lot more money being spent is the feed. Okay, if your birds are not eating, you're really not going to produce eggs like that. So you have to make sure you feed them, you give them vitamins, you deworm them, you put them antibiotic schedule. All of these things are very, very pivotal to sustainability of your farms and also to increase your revenue, because per bird, a bird can produce 1 egg per day. Sometime with a 3 months period of production, and if the more birds you have healthy, the more you're likely to produce a lot of eggs. So if you have 1,000 birds on average, 800 of them are producing per day. 800 eggs times 7. Do your math. If you're selling $55 per cart, times that amount, do your math too. So it's very lucrative. I won't lie to you. However, you gotta focus. You have to pay attention to the little things that could damage your poultry, such as diseases in the farm. If one bird is sick, it could kill a lot of birds in your poultry. If something crawls in your poultry, it could harm your poultry. If the water they're drinking, you don't put chlorine in it and filter your water, you could cause death to your birds. If the birds are engaging kind of I'm forgetting the word, but if they're picking at each other, eating each other up, that you're creating problems for it. If they lay the egg and they start to eat their own eggs, you're creating problems. So there are a lot of factors that you must assess, put in place before you scale. So you start small, you increase, and as you see progress and you become an expert in this business, then you can scale. Our farm is supposed to house 20,000 birds, but we started with 500. Increase now to 1,000, 1,005. We're not just going to be like, oh my gosh, so since we're experts now, we're going to go to 10,000. No, no, it just doesn't work like that. And so these are some of the things. Again, these are three things that I talk about on my channel, because, like I said, we need more businesses like this in Africa, in Liberia. So I'm always open to share. There are tons of Liberians all over the U.S. wasting the monies and time. Invest in Liberia. Liberian in the U.S. No words. No words. All right, Stefan, you're here. I thank you so much for taking the time to get on this. I know we've been vetting people a lot, and we are both very tired being on these meetings. I appreciate all your time, your efforts, and I know you're probably the richest person in that community with all your land you have and your beachfront. I'm just gonna be over there enjoying my foot to the greens at your resort. That's it. Um,
I mean, we trying to do it. Like you said earlier, it's so easy to be negative when you from a country that is mostly about negativity, and then to escape that negativity and then just be negative about that area, it just seems counterproductive. So I challenge everybody to try to have a different mindset. It's not something that could be done overnight, but maybe by tuning into some of these lives and watching your channel and maybe other like-minded Africans, then slowly your mind can start changing. But if you see how passionate that Ghanaians and Nigerians are about their countries, you have to ask yourself, what is the problem in the Liberian community? Even though we got out of that country and we came to America and UK and Australia, these are not our countries. So to sit here and spend all our money and the rest of our lives over here only to come back to Africa and build our one house is a selfish thought and a selfish notion. And maybe that's the thing that's been keeping us down for so long. So maybe now is the time to change, especially when you have people that's showing you the right way. And we come on here for hours and hours and hours trying to give you guys free knowledge, free game, free encouragement, regardless things that people might say, we keep moving forward. So I challenge everybody to do the same. And I'm going to keep pushing. And I know we're going to see this through. That's not the question. I don't have any doubts in my mind about your success in Africa. What I want to see us do is bring more people up with us, because I think that's the real success in this mission that we have. If other people can do it, if you create great wealth in Africa, but you don't lead the masses to try to do the same, then your journey cannot be considered overall a success. That's just my opinion. So we're trying to bring everybody with us. That's the whole point of having this investment group. But the reason we have to vet people is to make sure that we're not bringing anybody in who could threaten what we're trying to do. But that doesn't mean that we still don't have love for you. Um, if you're on this live with us, then that shows us that you're trying to do something for the country. You're trying to contribute one way or the other. So I just encourage all you guys to just take that step. And this is just the beginning for us. We're going to keep pushing, and there's so many great things to come. That some things I'm sure that I can't even think about right now. But if you guys just tune in for the journey and just take some action, I'm sure that we can all make it happen. So let's put the negativity behind us when we come on here, and let's just try to be productive. And that's what we always do when we come on these lives. And every time we have an idea, it helps us all, and it pushes the country forward. And that's what that country really needs. So I encourage everybody to do the same. And I appreciate you guys sharing your time with us. If you're interested in anything we're talking about, definitely email Emma, whether it's the proposed development or the community. Every single thing we talked about on this live is an opportunity. So uh, take advantage of it. It's there for the taking. Other people are already doing it. There's no reasons we can't either. Any risk that you can think about, the Lebanese and the Indians have the same risk, but they're willing to take it. And you have to sit back and ask yourself why they're willing to do these things and we're not. So that's my word of encouragement for the day. And for the ones that do make it in the group, great. Love to have you in. For the ones that don't, this is just the start. We talked about so many different things on here that you can't think that this is the end. This is just the very beginning. Everything that Emma has talked about, I'm interested in getting in. One day you're gonna see me with my poultry farm. You're gonna see me with my clearing land. You're gonna see me with my resort. You're gonna see me with my vehicles over there for rent. And all these things are all possible for us, and we're gonna take advantage of that. So I encourage you guys to replace the negativity with some of these ideas that we can take advantage of.
Thanks, Stefan. Everyone, have a pleasant night. Take care. Be blessed. And yeah.
All right. Later. Catch you guys later. Emma, talk to you soon.
Okay. Hey, I'm okay, guys.